10,000 Takes is proud to be sponsored by the Better Edge app. Better Edge is a legal online social betting marketplace that allows you to post and engage with other sports betting fans, place no commission positions in an online marketplace, compete in direct head-to-head challenges with horrible bettors such as myself, Bossman, JJ, Cam, we're all on there sending us some challenges. Compete in public or private betting competitions. And you can also buy or sell positions such as spread, over, under, money line, all at current market prices. All you got to do is use the promo code 10K at betteredge.com to get a free $20 when you sign up and verify your ID today.
On this episode of It's a Bit, we're joined in person in studio by Mariano Sori-Marin. He's a linebacker for the Minnesota Golden Gopher football team. We're recording this after the season, but right before the Pinstripe Bowl, so we're going to get into the season as well as the upcoming preview of the Pinstripe Bowl with Mariano. Going to go over our bits of the week as always and end the show with something new. Listener Q&A. We tweeted, posted everywhere, asking you guys, the listeners, to ask us questions, so we're going to answer all the questions you sent us. So all of that and more on It's a Bit.
You're listening to the It's a Bit podcast presented by 10,000 Takes.
You just made the roster.
Janine Empire called 10,000 Takes.
Fucking like that?
Hey, you know those guys that do 10,000 takes? They do some funny bits, right?
They're good. They're funny dudes.
Yeah.
10,000 take.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of It's a Bit presented by 10,000 Takes. My name's Bossman, joined by Wags, producer Cam, journalist Jake. We got to give a special shout out to our friends at Better Edge, sponsor of the show, sponsor of a lot of our shows here at 10,000 Takes. They provided some Golden Lights for the program today through Drizzy. So thank you to Tyler and Greg for the beer today.
The superior light beer.
Yep.
And I don't think that's their actual quote. I'm pretty sure that's like Michelob Ultra Lights saying or whatever.
The superior light beer?
Superior
The
light
Dude,
beer.
the Ultra commercials are great because they're always like riding a bike and then they just start drinking beer.
Yeah, they're like, we're healthy because we're drinking this.
Or there's that one where that lady finishes like a jog and her like friend comes out with a McUltra like it's water. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but you burned it all off, so have a drink.
It is an accurate advertisement because a lot of us, the only time we do any physical activity, we're probably drinking, right? Like when you play beer league hockey, you guys drink after.
First thing you do is
Like
crack a
softball.
few.
We never play golf without beer. Like softball, we're drinking. Even when we did like the Summer Olympics YouTube video,
Driving.
we had a beer. Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Physical
Yep.
driving the golf ball.
of course.
Driving the golf
Yes.
cart.
A
Not-
golf cart.
May or may not driving a car.
Oh.
That's
Well, and out of everything you just named, I think softball is the most intense because you actually drink throughout the games and everything.
Yeah.
You don't do that in men's league hockey. You're not on the bench for the I mean, a few guys will have a beer on the bench.
Yeah,
but
some
it's-
guys do,
It's pretty
but-
difficult when you're, when you're going that hard.
That's one of the challenges of beer league softball is not only winning in this league is hard, but winning while drunk makes it even more difficult.
You honestly
So-
need to be a pro of like balancing how
Yeah.
much you drink when you're doing that.
So-
I mean, we've had some drunk motherfuckers in
Whoa,
the outfield
geez.
that you can tell are
We
drunk.
had some incidents. This
But
summer.
we did.
Oh, goodness.
We did have a win. It may or may not have been because the other team didn't show up, but we did win a game.
Those are some addicts.
So that's something we can pat our back on.
Looks the same in the record book.
True. Hey, a win's a win.
Yeah, it
That's
was like a 6-0 win or whatever they give
That's
us.
what I said.
You can flash
Yeah,
all
that's
this,
what I
just
saw.
like the Vikings, man. You can flash all these nerdy stats in front of us, and we still say a win's a win.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. No one's taking them seriously. They're underdogs against the Lions. Hammer the Vikings big this
that's
weekend, boys.
insane.
Hammer the Vikings big.
Do you guys like the bit I made where it's Jesse Pinkman? He's like, you can't keep getting away with this. Like Vegas cannot keep getting away with thinking the Vikings are going to lose every game because it's not happening, folks.
Dude, I swear to God, the NFL media will not recognize a win unless it's greater than 17 points. You know what I'm saying?
We
Right.
don't do that. So
No, we haven't done that in 3 years.
Which we're up by 17.
is that an actual stat?
2019. Ooh, Cammy setting off
The timer.
there, you put
Episode's over.
You put a timer on the screen. That's incredibly
did it. I
loud.
did.
That scared the shit out of me.
if-
Is there a bomb on here?
If you're driving on your way to work, you're awake now.
Yeah.
So you're
Stop.
welcome.
You're doing a stop.
I hope
Okay.
that got it.
That's all right.
Hey, literally-
Okay.
He had a timer going at the same time, and apparently
Cam.
the tab setup doesn't change that. Whatever.
It sounded like an episode of 24.
Yeah. No, I thought a bomb was going off.
Din.
I thought we were in the last
Jack
second of our
Bauer.
lives.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna die there. But we were talking about the Vikings getting boned by Vegas. The other thing I want to add too is point differential is a useless stat because you could blow out a team by 100 and then get blown out by 100 and it's still 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like who cares? The plus minus doesn't matter. I just look at wins and losses.
Yeah, I don't know when the point differential became like the gold standard for determine how good a winning team is.
When the Vikings had a bad
Yep.
one.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
You're right.
when the Vikings had a bad one and had a good record.
Well, right now, every Packers fan, Cowboy fan, like under the earth, are like commenting frauds on any posts that have the Vikings. But if they were winning these games the same exact way, they would be embracing the shit out of it.
Absolutely. And the Cowboys can suck it because they're going to get OBJ anyways. I think Jerry Jones just brought in some hookers or something.
Yeah,
True. Hey, but it's looking up for Cowboy fans because the Lakers are starting to win.
Yep,
Yeah.
correct. And the Yankees may or may not get something from Aaron Judge if they trade
Yep.
him. So they might. I don't know what's going on there.
Or he might
but-
play for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
Dude, someone.
As a tight end.
Oh God,
Reported that today.
What were we saying, Cam? We're Aaron Judge. There was an edit of him wearing a Reds jersey, and I'm like, that guy would probably rather dig graves than play for the Reds.
He'd rather be in a grave.
No one wants
Yeah.
to play for the fucking Reds right now.
That is basically being in a grave.
Yeah.
I mean, Judge,
That's basically being dead on Earth.
isn't he about to get probably the biggest contract in baseball history?
Probably.
He's gonna go to San Fran.
It was funny because John Heyman, who is kind of notorious for fucking up, he tweeted, he had a typo. He said Arson Judge to the Giants.
Oh.
And then he deletes it and then says Aaron Judge to the Giants. And then after that, she's like, well, I may have jumped the gun because the Giants said they never heard back from him. So it's not even official yet.
It's kind of like the Tom Brady retirement. Everyone just wants to be first to that story,
Right.
and someone's going to fuck it up. Also, a more sad example, but a relatable example is the Kobe crash. Remember how many journalists were like butchering that because they just wanted the first tweet?
Yep.
I feel like we're never going to get a big story without a few fuck ups first.
I mean, that's just media in general today. They all want to be the first of the story. They kind of push it out without really knowing the facts, and then you hear about corrections a few weeks later,
Yeah, it's just kind of, or my other favorite thing that journalists do is like if Schefter breaks the news, then Pelissero will tweet it and then say per Schefter.
Yeah.
So it's like he still wants to get some, which I can't blame him. And then Ian Rappaport will say per Pelissero per Schefter.
Yeah.
So it's just
a bunch of perceptions.
journalistception. But before we get into bit of the week and our interview with Mariano, we got to give a little 10K fantasy football team update. So not good for It's a Bit. I think the Cooper Cup injury pretty much fucked us. That seemed to be the difference maker in all these games. So now all these games that we were winning by 10, 20 points we're losing in. But here's the current standings. So Band of Bloggers 11-2, which Cam, your team, you just destroyed them this week, right?
We are on fucking fire.
High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Juggernaut.
We are a new juggernaut.
Okay. So yeah, 11-2. We have third and forever, 9-4. Kind of funny they talk the most shit because they're football guys, and they used to be the ones who they used to tweet out the standings every week, and I haven't seen that tweet in a couple weeks.
Standings tweet.
Probably because they're on a bit of a losing streak. Third is high risk, high reward, which is incredible because you guys were in the paintball gauntlet conversation.
We were in
not only like a month ago.
We were in last at one point.
Yeah, you guys thought we were talking on this show about you running through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's crazy. In fourth place, which by the way, this is the cutoff for. So there's the top four teams play for the win, the bottom four play, and the loser does the paintball gauntlet. So that's the structure here. It's a Bit has hung on to that fourth place spot at 6 and 7. Once again, want to point out that we now have the second most points scored in the league and still have a losing record.
So what, we're just notoriously unlucky this year?
Yeah. We're like that golfer that's really good in stroke play but can never win a match, like a match play. So that's kind of us. Fifth place is You Like That at 5 and 8, who we play this week. Sixth place, the Has-Beens, who they were in last for a while there. They've crawled back up to 5 and 8. Wild Takes, after beating us by 4 or 6, I think this week, they're down to 5 and 8. Status Goal 3 and 10.
I will say your points 4 has come back down to earth because of us. We came out of fucking nowhere, and now you're fourth in points 4.
Okay.
You've fallen, so you're right where
We
you
were
should
first
be, but
up to last
Yeah,
week,
you were.
which is nuts. But
it's a bad week.
it's starting to catch up with us, though, because we've just been middle of the road for the last few weeks. We've had some injuries and some other horse shit happen, but I think we have 2 weeks left, right?
Yeah.
I was actually just gonna. I
think it's 2
look
weeks.
at that because some of my other leagues, it's
Or is it 3?
So this is the last week
last one.
in most leagues. I have looked in this league. We have 2 weeks left.
that's weird.
So just so everyone knows, basically, if you're in the top 4, you've basically won the league. Because you're not in contention to do paintball gauntlet.
What are the odds that we what are the percentages that we're going to have to be in that gauntlet, or at least be in the bracket?
It's still
for the gauntlet?
well, we're 6 and 7 right now. You Like That, who we play this week, is 5 and 8.
This is a pretty essential game.
If we lose this week, we're definitely in it for the paintball gauntlet. Because even if we tie,
You're still okay, even if you lose. If you win the next week via you have the most points for, you're gonna win.
we just have to win one of these next 2 games,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
I'm still terrified of.
Yes, I do not want to participate in this.
Win a game and you're essentially in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still
When you're
confident
in.
though that I'm confident we could beat the Has-Beens or State of School. We can beat State of School for sure.
Yes, we can.
They're definitely running the gauntlet.
They were. I'm in their group chat because I have to check in with them every now and then. They were pretty upset. 'Cause they're like, guys, we're getting dragged on social media this morning. We got to turn it up.
Yeah,
they haven't.
But we've been saying this for the last few months, and Eli just laughs it off and says, "I'm not doing the gauntlet." We're like, no, this is like a serious thing. You have to take this league seriously.
He did on State of School this week pretty much state that, we're probably going to have to do the gauntlet. Yeah, we'll just do the gauntlet over in Hudson. He was mentioning some place in Hudson.
If they lose,
I think he's ready.
If they lose, obviously a bunch of 10K people will be the people firing the paintballs. I vote we just all aim at Eli, let everyone else just run by just fine.
Although I could see them doing some sort of turtle formation with Adam and AJ because they're
that would be
a little bigger guys.
Move, yeah,
but
try to target Eli. That's the goal.
Did anyone else see the graphic that the 10K bets page posted today? It was a picture of Adam wearing the Packer Punisher mask and then the tight Jared Allen jersey, and it said eliminated from basically not going to the paintball gauntlet consolation championship.
No, it's like they have clinched a spot in the
the paintball consolation championship.
So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out, but from here on out, we'll give you guys an update each week on kind of where the league is at. I just hope we can win one of the 2 games and we're in. Like I said, any team that doesn't do the gauntlet is the champ of this league as far as I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And we control our own destiny, so things are looking good.
Yes. But do we, though? We need to make sure some players don't actually just fucking fuck up and get injured.
Well, use your influence, Jake.
Yes.
I did add someone on the waiver wire, but I probably shouldn't say it because people in the league are listening. So
I am listening.
Keep it on the
Yeah, fuck you, Cam.
It's funny, though, because if we end up in the fucking gauntlet as well, you're fucked.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't do anything because I need you guys to win more than I need us to win. We're already safe.
I don't even see. Who do we play the last week? Do you want to look, producer Cam? Commissioner.
He's the commissioner. There's so much collusion
member
going
of
on
3
here.
different teams, Cam.
You guys play. Win this week, please. You play Band of Blockers.
Okay, yeah. So it's winner. It's win now.
Yeah, it definitely is.
We might need to call in Billy G to see how we can switch this team to a win now mentality because we need it.
You should have pulled some trade deadline magic.
Yeah, but the band of bloggers are going to coast. They know they're clinched.
Oh, they're going to rest their starters.
They're going to rest their
That's
starters.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank God. Yeah. I wish
they don't want to risk any injury. In the
I
playoffs.
wish it worked like that. It does not work like that. And knowing Veach, he's just going to try to suck up every moment he can out of this.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch.
He's Veach is in charge of Band of Bloggers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but he also runs social media for the Has-Beens. So
we have to enforce that.
He's on 2 teams.
If we're making Cam eligible on 2 teams,
but so does Veach. Wait, but are we making Cam be part of 2 teams?
Yeah.
Really?
Now, I will state, though, this throws a little bit of a wrench in it. Veach had not run their socials at the time of the draft.
Yeah.
So what's the policy?
This is why I can't.
They had to bring it up to the court.
As the commissioner, this is why I can't. 1, I declared that I would be on both teams and I would be a part
initially
of it because that's just how I am. I'm a stand-up guy. And then Marlo ditched Wild Takes and said he has nothing to do with them and he's only with high risk, high reward. So he's fucked up. So he's safe. So Veach, it's not fair to him to say, hey, since they suck, you're part of that.
I vote that it's up to Veach. If they finish last, he doesn't have to do it, but I'm just gonna say it would be a pretty big d-bag move to leave your teammates
guilt him into it.
Yes.
I think Veach would actually.
I also propose that regardless of what happens in the consolation ladder, we just make Andy run the gauntlet.
Oh yes, no matter
fucking list he published.
Oh yeah,
oh my God,
he should go through a gauntlet once a year, regardless of anything.
And I'm not gonna talk about the list because we can go on it for hours. But the fact that he had Rogers 32 out of 32, someone who produces the podcast, does all of the editing, releases all the clips, he has zero clue how much fucking
Brian,
work that
right?
takes.
Yeah,
Brian Rogers on a week-to-week basis. Andy is number 50 out of 33. I don't give
he
a
is
fuck.
last on the list.
Yeah. 34 or whatever. There was 34.
I could bitch about it for hours.
I was number 1, and I thought the list sucked.
How many was it? 32.
Yeah, it was 33.
I should have replied with. And then said 33, Candleboy.
Yeah.
Let's crush all talks about the list because this is what Andy wanted. He wanted to shake it up so everyone would talk about it.
So talk about his fucking soccer-ridden profile.
He'd be relevant.
He wants us to start drama at the Christmas party too.
He really does.
It's just not going to happen.
No.
Nope. Not again this year.
He's just the person who at the party who everyone's like, oh, that's that douchebag.
Is Andy going to be at the party?
I don't know.
He probably won't. He probably wanted to stir up a whole bunch of shit then not show up.
He wasn't last year.
That would be an all-time move, but
if he shows up, he'll just spend all the time upstairs trying to sleep in all of our beds for 30 minutes at a time. He's a weird guy.
Fucked.
Looking out our windows, figuring out which one he likes the most.
Yep. See which one he could sneak into at night.
Whichever one has yellow walls. I really like this room.
Oh, it's my favorite room. Yellow walls. He looks out the window. It's like, bro, what are you looking out at? Like, who is across the street? Goodness. Such a weird dude.
We love you, Andy, but we don't like your list.
He's just catching strays.
All right. Let's start with bit of the week on journalist Jake.
I'm going to go with the gym guy bit. So this is, I know DeCam, but I guess this applies to a lot of people. So we came back from home Thursday night, and we see a bunch of creatine pre-workout, a big fucking thing of protein, like a brand new shaker on the top of our pantry. I'm like, whose is this? And we're asking Donnie, we're asking some other people. We're like, that's not mine. We're like, no, it's Cam's. And as he was putting it up there, we weren't over yet. We weren't home yet, and Donnie was saying you were putting it on the top of the pantry, and you're like, I'm going to get flamed for this. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah. And we're sitting there like, you don't work out.
Nope.
Why the fuck do you have all this shit here? It's the typical gym guy bit. They buy all this stuff, all this shaker, thinking this is what they need to get swole.
Yeah.
And they don't actually really work out.
This basically aligns to the New Year's Eve
I was
bit,
going to say
where,
the same thing.
Where you buy a gym membership on January 1st to start your New Year's resolution of fitness.
Get all the powders.
And it gets canceled by the 13th.
So Jake thought that I was like going to start going to the gym, but I've had this for a while. So this
was brand new.
Yeah. No, I've gone through some of it, but one of my buddies, Blake, who you guys have met, is fucking jacked, by the way. Like, he is super committed to the gym, and there was a time where a couple years ago I went with him regularly, and then earlier this year I tried to get back into it, so he told me to like get on all of this stuff. Obviously I stopped after like 2 weeks, so then I'll just take it again for another 2 weeks next year until I don't go again.
Now, the thing is, a lot of that stuff is just aggressively unhealthy.
It is,
like it's a marketing
scheme. What's hilarious to me about this whole situation is you put it on top of the cupboards in the kitchen, which is basically like where we should keep a cross because it's that visibly available. And you knew you were going to get flamed for it. It's been 5 days and it's all still sitting there.
I don't know where to put it.
That stuff sitting there is a constant reminder that you gave up on going to the gym.
I 100% guarantee you it will not be there by this weekend.
When did this happen? When were you a gym guy? How long were you a gym guy?
During
he still is because he does own the protein.
Yeah, and it's still on top of the cupboard.
He is a gym guy.
Where a crucifix would be in the kitchen.
Right before COVID hit, it's not the same stuff, obviously, but right before COVID hit, I used to go to the gym all the time, and I was actually in okay shape. And then I stopped because of COVID because everything shut down, and I gained the COVID 50 just like everyone else did.
50?
And then, I'm kidding, not 50.
Fucking hell, I was gonna say.
I got the negative 100.
Good for you. And then, like I said earlier this year, I tried to go again, and I just failed again. So.
I thought when I came in, like, there's no way, like, you got this because you went to the gym. I thought you went to the mall and some GNC guy stopped you and got you in some pyramid scheme where you have to sell protein and creatine. And I'll get on the list and sell this shit for you.
He's like the shoe magic dude for the gym. He's like, bro, let me clean those shoes real quick.
Or he's basically like the guy who's like, hey, I got a great offer on a timeshare in Florida. Wait, really? Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought happened. I'm like, this is Cam's. I was so confused.
The real secret to being a gym guy is to like actually get like a set of weights at your house so you have no excuses. True. And then you sit there and you tell yourself, dude, you just have to walk downstairs.
Yeah.
Don't be a lazy bitch.
Or you could be like Jake and do 25
push-ups. So I was going to say, we can this isn't my bit. This is just a related bit, the 25 push-up bit. So what was it? On Friday night, there was a bit of a drunken argument over there. Allegedly, someone
we weren't drunk.
Someone had left the chandelier on.
So
Cam,
this is actually my bit.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
The we'll leave the light on for you bit.
Okay, yeah.
The Motel 8 bit.
It's 6. I'm pretty convinced that Jake thinks he works for Motel 6 because he can't fucking turn a light off to save his life. And Jack can back me up on this. Yeah. Every fucking time you leave the light on.
Oh, that's surprising too.
That was like one night.
Your dad is like the most like stereotypical Midwestern dad. You would think he would be on your ass growing up about the lights. At least that's my dad was.
Oh, my dad was horrible. He took light bulbs out one time when we all left one light on.
That's
we left
smart.
One light on.
That's what we should do to Jake.
Because like Sunday night, me and Jack were watching the Colts game. We were in the dark because it was Sunday night and we didn't want to do anything. Jake comes into the kitchen before he goes and plays Sunday night hockey like a psychopath. Turns the kitchen light on. Walks out, leaves. Lights still on.
Well, because you guys are still there. I'm
going to
leave
them.
They were in the dark.
Well, I'm not going to turn them back. I was aware I left the light on, but if no one was home, I would have turned them off.
You
doesn't
should
make
definitely
sense.
have,
People are
if
home.
people were home and they were like vibing with the lights off and you turn the lights on, it's your
Well,
responsibility.
let me know that I should turn the lights back on.
No, but
because
we're too passive aggressive to do that, Jake.
Oh well, I wasn't aware. I was aware I left the light on. I'm just like, there are people here. You're gonna get up and go to use the kitchen.
But this isn't the best part of the story.
No, it's not.
So Cam, keep going.
So we all came back from the bars, and we were all standing and because all four of our rooms, like me, Jack, Jake, and Donnie. Donnie was up there for a little bit too. We're all standing in our doorways of our rooms because they're all next to each other. And I call out Jake for leaving the light on again because it was on, and he was like being all defensive like he usually is when I
trying to
call
give
him
his
out on
alibi.
something. Yeah, and he's and he tells his story. So he was like, "This is what happened. I went upstairs, I turned the light on, I went into my room, I played guitar, and then I did 25 push-ups, and I went to bed."
You just had to throw it.
No, I did 25 push-up. I pissed. I turned off the light and went to bed.
You didn't turn off the light.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Now I don't remember you saying you pissed.
I said that.
There's
there's
inconsistencies.
I
in the
literally
story.
said this Friday night. I said I did push-ups. I went out to take a piss. I noticed it was on. I turned it off. The night before, I left it on because I went in my room and then I fell asleep.
It was 2 nights in a row.
No, I know for a fact I turned it off the second night.
The next version of the
fact.
story is going to include 6 crunches.
If we went to Black Mirror and saw like we could do a Black Mirror bit and see the memories of my. I remember flipping the switch.
And then Jack just called him out. It was fantastic.
This argument kind of came up Saturday when you were telling me what was happening. And Jake, you literally said, I might have left the light on Saturday.
No, I left the light. I might have left the light on the first night because I know I did.
I remember
Tuesday. The next night I went outside. I'm like, oh, the light's on. I'm gonna go shut it off. I remember hitting the switch and going to bed.
I remember
the second night.
on Friday night,
so
too,
I don't know how it came back on.
When we were talking about this, there was a challenge given to Jake to do 25 more push-ups on the spot.
Oh, fuck no. I was not doing that.
He said he was so drunk that he'd probably puke if he did it.
I probably would.
He gets motion sickness rather easy. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Jake, how many push-ups can you do in one sitting? That's the real question.
One sitting at a time, like 25.
Do you want to do 25 push-ups right now?
Right now?
Yeah, do it right now.
Where do you want me to do them?
Wherever you want, man.
It's not going to be on camera, but
that's okay.
We'll count them out. Can you do it?
Commentary.
Can you do it in front of us so we can all see it?
Commentary.
So are we going to hold you to like the military push-up standard?
So Cam, here's what I say: if Jake can successfully perform 25 push-ups, I'm going to believe his story a little.
Okay,
bit.
That's bullshit.
I'll count you out, Jake, whenever you're ready.
All right, 1.
He just says he does it every night.
2,
3, 4. There we go. 5.
6. 6.
Oh, you took a
7,
break. Doesn't count.
8.
Fraud.
9,
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You should have brought in like a
16,
Marines
17,
drill instructor for this.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
More than I can do. Yeah, there you go. Oh, 26. Just to show up.
He did 25 push-ups, so that part is at least true.
Jake,
I believe that part now.
That's actually your warm-up because when Mariano comes in, you guys will be doing a contest.
Oh, hell no.
We got to get the Golden Gopher mascot in here.
Mariano needs to bench Jake.
Oh, fuck.
He could probably bench me and Jake. All right.
That guy can probably squat like 500
That was a good bit
pounds.
though, Cam. That was a funny story how like Jake just had to throw in there. I did 25 push-ups.
It was one of those you had to be there
Well, I
moments.
was drunk. I was trying to recite the night of events, trying to remember. But whatever.
I was about to say, that's not even the first time someone's been forced to do push-ups during It's a Bit episode.
No.
We used to do the Wheel of Doom. The Wheel of Doom.
We should bring that back.
That would be fun.
True.
We should.
Jack, do you remember the other part of the story though? You're like when you came out one night in the middle of the night and you heard like a bunch of thumping and it was Jake playing guitar at like 1 a.m.
Oh yeah, that was last week.
It was recently.
Wasn't that like a work night too?
I don't. I was it a Thursday?
I was up.
Like a
I was
guitar
up
going.
kinda
I'm like,
late.
God damn it!
It was 1 a.m. and just the Eddie Vedder from Wish isn't coming from Jake's.
I wasn't
bedroom.
singing Pearl Jam.
Or were you singing Today's the Macy's Day Parade?
That
in the Burger King song.
Probably some Foo Fighters basement.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Whopper.
I actually can't play basement on guitar.
All right, Wags, what's your bet?
Mine's the mask bit. Today, in 2022, almost 2023, I got shamed for not wearing a mask. Right? Someone tried to shame me. So I get infusions every 90 days. When you obviously go into like a medical place like this, you're required to wear a mask. Obviously, it's been like, what, a year and a half since masks were pretty much required everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I don't carry masks on me anymore. I just don't have them in my car. I don't have them anywhere. So I start walking through the front doors of the infusion center, and this 75-year-old woman's like, you're really going to come in here without a mask? And I'm already kind of running late, and I just have to fucking get up to the 3rd floor to get my infusion. I'm like, they provide them at the front desk when you walk in. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And then she was like, wear a mask before you come inside. And I just kind of just like, I just chuckled and started like running up the stairs.
Yeah, the last 2 times I've gone to a hospital, there's masks at the door, and I just grab one.
Yep.
But if they didn't have one there, I wouldn't have one. So I don't.
Exactly. And so, like, you know, it's like a typical entrance where you go through doors, but there's like a second set of doors you need to go through. She was like waiting for someone to pick her up, and beyond those doors are where they have all the masks. So she was like super salty, even though if she was that concerned,
tell the hospital to put them in the closer door.
Well, exactly. But if you're that concerned by like, I don't want to be in COVID air, step outside. It's one fucking step. Open the door. You're outside. You're safe.
I think by now it's to the point where if you are in an establishment that requires masks, if you do provide it, I'll wear it because I'm not fucking 12 years old and I'm not going to cry about it.
Yeah,
but if you don't provide it, I'm not fucking wearing it.
I don't carry them in my pocket anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, and it's like I'm going to a place of medicine. They should just have them there.
You're like, yeah,
Right, if you require them,
You're like, sorry, I'm more concerned about not dying today than wearing a mask 5 feet in front of where they give me masks.
True, but like, of course, it was you know, a woman over the age of 60 who. Oh, this doesn't matter. She was white. She was like, she was giving off that Karen energy.
She was a Karen, just what you're saying.
And I was just like, you know.
But what is a Karen when she's older? There's got to be. Is it like an Esther?
It's an Ethel. We'll just call her an Ethel. Yeah, Esther would work too, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something good with a K, but I can't.
Neither can I, dude.
Older names just like vanish more and more. Like you don't really meet any Georges these days.
No.
My grandpa's name was George.
You know, a name that used to be very, very popular was Adolf.
Oh yeah,
before that other guy.
Yeah, that one is kind of ruined
that one
now.
dude.
I have a
Kanye. Probably there's got to be a lot of those.
Yeah, coming up now. But that's what my great great grandfather's name. Obviously, before you know the other Adolf rose to power, his name was Adolf.
Oh.
Pretty sure there was a kid in my high school whose middle name was Adolf.
That's not good in the year of 2015 or whenever you were graduating.
You could just go by Dolph, like Dolph Lundgren,
like young Dolph.
Honestly,
young Dolph.
R.I.P.
All right, I was gonna say, is that one of the R.I.Ps?
Yeah,
unfortunately.
dude, his song "Facts" is unreal.
He's one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah,
true. Also, Rip Lil Peep, XXX, and Juice WRLD.
Dude, rip everyone these days.
R.I.P. every rapper ever.
Rip.
I do have a quick honorable mention bit
Yeah.
that I'll say really quick. This is a shout out to people who wear contacts regularly. I did the driving blind bit on my way back from the infusion. Not a good morning for me. On the way back from the infusion, my right eye itches, so I just do the typical rub it. My contact kind of gets flipped in my eye, and it starts it's fucking up my eye. So the water is just shooting out, and no matter what I do, I can't get the contact eventually falls out, and I can't open my eye no matter what. It's that irritated. So I'm driving like the 20 minutes back, holding my eye like this because if any light gets on, it sobs it anymore. And you know how your eyes and nasal cavities are all connected? I couldn't breathe out of my nose anymore, so I was like, the whole fucking car ride home for 20 minutes. I felt like
you were driving.
Yes,
good God!
I felt like I had special needs and I shouldn't be driving. Like I felt like I should not have been driving in that moment. I had to get home because I had to go to work, but it was not good. So shout out to the contact people who have to deal with that.
No kidding, man.
That's awful.
That's definitely scary.
Mm-hmm. Rocking glasses because of it.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Zane? I'm glad I'm not the only one in here wearing glasses because usually on clips where people don't like what we're saying, I get called a nerd. So now you can get called a
hell yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, now you're a nerd with me. But I'll close this out here. This is a really good one. I have the fake an injury and then fuck the ground bit. So Alexander Madison celebrated his latest touchdown on Sunday by faking an injury and then shaking his ass and shoulders in perfect unison. I actually made a breakdown video of it on our social medias, 10K Takes, and Alexander Madison actually quote tweeted it with some laughing emojis, which if you haven't seen the video, it's basically just me to the theme music of like NFL fastest 2 minutes, like dun, 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 breaking down
the Berman bit.
Touchdown. I go like way too deep on it. And I'm just sitting there picturing like Alexander Madison in the locker room, probably showing a ton of teammates just this video of me going way too deep on just a very, very above average touchdown celebration, but a great touchdown celebration nonetheless.
That was an absolutely hilarious video, Jack. And I'm becoming a huge, not that I wasn't, but I'm a huge Alexander Madison fan now because that's 2 days in a row. He's showing our channel some love. He's retweeting us. He's quote tweeting us. So we got to
get him on.
Do you know that touchdown run? That was the 14-yard touchdown run, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was his longest ever touchdown run in his career.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hard to believe,
that's crazy
but
to think about.
He has always been a guy who comes in kind of on like the
gritty.
He's a goal line guy.
Yeah, he's grit. He's got grit. He gets the yards you need, and he obviously has kick-ass celebrations that make people think they what you hear one of the announcers was like, "Oh God, Madison, blah blah blah," in the corner of the he's hurt, blah blah blah. It's like
people over like that. Same thing with JJ. Everyone's like, when he was it in Buffalo or he did that celebration somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And it's like everyone over the age of 30 is like, "Oh my God, are they okay?" Everyone under the age of 30 is like laughing their asses off and like, "That's sick," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, but one of these days, someone's actually going to be hurt. Like that,
everyone's gonna think
and
it's
everyone's
a joke.
going to be laughing. Yeah. It's going to be the
this
worst
is an
day
amazing
ever for
celebration. He's holding his leg and he's on his back. Wow,
he's screaming in pain.
Yeah.
It was Charles Davis. He was making fun of him. He's like, "Now don't fake about injuries." Charles Davis fucking sucks.
Dude,
because of Madden.
The announcers were horrible.
Yeah, that too. But
the announcers were really sucking off Mike White. So they were horrible.
Dude, the whole conversation after the Vikings game, it's not, hey, big win by the Vikings, 10-2. They found another way to squeeze it out. It's, how about them Jets, dude? They almost won. Like, that's the national conversation right after the game. I've
been saying this on this show for months. Like, even if the Vikings win the Super Bowl this year, all these critics are going to say they should have done it earlier.
Yeah. It's 70 years. It's going to take you that long.
It took you that long.
They should have been 10-2 5 weeks ago.
Took Green Bay only the 2 years in.
They won the first ever Super.
First year. Yeah,
they'll find some way to say that it was a Mickey Mouse ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Like a COVID ring or something.
But yeah, no, that was great. That touchdown, by the way, like I mentioned in the video, is legal. 3 pumps, according to Key and Peele. That's a legal touchdown celebration. If he did a fourth shake, flags would have flown excessive celebration. So
I agree with that 100. If he did that twerk 1 second longer, that's a flag.
Elite Football Mind by Madison to count the number of twerks he did mid celebration.
Yep, I do vote. Let's retire that for the future. Though. I don't want a penalty flag after something like that.
No, that's the last thing you want, dude. Oh my God, like going back and looking at some of the old Chad Ochocinco, that's his legal name, but Chad Johnson touchdown celebrations. You remember the one where he runs behind the end zone and grabs steals the camera from the camera guy and starts pointing it all over the field? That was that one, or the one where he grabs the pylon and putts it. 2 of my favorites.
Dude, I love Antonio Brown when he like jumped up on the goalpost after a punt return. That was hilarious.
Oh, and he just like humped it.
Yeah, falls down.
Just manic.
Just fucked it.
Oh, hilarious.
Oh, that was the start of a slight downhill run by Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
We won't get into that.
No, we could. Yeah, that would be like a multiple day episode.
Yeah. Dude, I saw a meme out there of like a police chief and like Antonio Brown on different sides, and it was like breaking Tampa Bay police or whatever police department Antonio Brown agreed to a 6-year $5 million sentencing.
That's clown.
Oh, poor him and his brain. But I have an honorable mention bit, by the way. I want to modify the rules of It's a Bit here on air that you should be allowed to have multiple bits. It shouldn't be honorable mention. It should be my first bit is blah, 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 or just my only bit is this. So no honorable mention shaming on this episode. But I have the Revo verse 3 bit. So the boys are on the Wild are on a road trip up in Canada right now. Their sorry asses are in Calgary where it's like -3 as a high today.
No, thank you.
But they were walking around the mountains and kind of, doing Canada the right way, if that's a phrase. And they were just horsing around, and I think it was like Kirill, Dewar, and someone else were like trying to tackle Reeves like for fun, and they were just getting like shoved all over the place. And then Kirill kind of comes in and like fucks them up. And was I the only one who held their breath during that and was a little worried?
Yeah, it wasn't cool.
Can you imagine if we lost Reeves and Kirill because of horseplay? That goes back to like the Madison thing. Like it would only happen in Minnesota where someone gets injured on a touchdown celebration. Only in Minnesota would both Kirill and Reeves be out because they were horseplaying around up in the mountains of Calgary.
Well, there was that just reminds me, I think there was a pitcher a while ago who broke his thumb playing video games.
Oh, yep.
It's just like random shit like that. Like, don't fuck around.
Or when Dustin Johnson fell down the stairs right before, I think it was the U.S. Open.
Too much coke
Everyone
or what?
says Polina pushed him. But
him and Polina were just having aggressively rough sex.
I'm glad they're all having fun, but I saw a lot of people in the comments, too, were like, those guys are okay, right? I mean, I get they're hockey players, so they're built different, but still.
Yeah.
Hashtag built different.
Don't show that to me because it just gets me nervous. But
they would have, even if they got injured, they're hockey guys. They're not in the NBA. They would have played through it.
True. LeBron would have requested a stretcher midway up the mountain.
Yeah. No, he would have.
Then he would have been like, guys, get your phones out. I'm going to need some prayers. 1 retweet, 1 prayer for LeBron. I'm going to need some of that.
No, they would expect there to be some chairlift all the way to the top if there wasn't. They'd be like, we're not doing this. Bring me back to the hotel. Give me my 5-star dinner before the game.
He would like start finalizing his will just in case he passes away.
Yep.
What a God, I love
fucker.
LeBron is so strong and courageous.
No,
so proud of him.
You have to be with that hairline, man.
Oh, true. True. I miss Taco Tuesday though. Remember that bit?
Yeah, that is LeBron's greatest legacy.
That was great.
That is the hardest working forehead in America.
I love how much his kids hated Taco Tuesday.
Yes.
So much.
Yeah.
But like that's almost like a Midwest dad in him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna embarrass the shit out of my kids and post it on Facebook.
I've never respected him more than when he did that.
Correct. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with our interview with Minnesota Golden Gopher linebacker Mariano Sori-Marin.
No! And he's loose! Do you like listening to Paul Allen every game day on KFAN?
That wasn't him, by the way. That was Jake.
Yeah, that was actually, or was it?
Allegedly.
We don't know, allegedly. But if you do like listening to Paul Allen and the Vikings on KFAN every single game day, mostly Sundays, I should say, well, tune in before to the pregame because us, 10K Takes, will be doing a little pregame bit, usually after the first commercial break into Vikings pregame, which usually starts about 2 hours before the game. You can listen to us. We're going to do about a 1 to 3 minute Vikings skit, little corny bit that's kind of funny. That's mostly funny, actually. That's surrounding that game. And you do not want to miss the next few that are coming up to wrap up the season. You're not going to want to miss them. So tune in to KFAN before every Vikings game. Again, about 2 hours before the game, and you'll hear us doing a little bit if you want to get a little chuckle before the game. Skol.
Welcome back to It's a Bit, ladies and gentlemen. We're joined by a very special guest, friend of the program. We got Mariano Sori-Marin. He's a linebacker for the Minnesota Golden Gopher football team, and he's all Big Ten defensive player.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome season. Thank you for having me, guys, and let's talk some football and whatever you guys come up with.
Yeah, man, we loved going to all the home games. We're gonna miss. I mean, we got one game left, obviously, the Pinstripe Bowl, but we're gonna miss seeing you out on the field. It's been an honor. It's been a blast.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna miss seeing the pregame shenanigans as well. It's always fun because I'll be driving to the stadium and I'll see your guys' stories and I'm like, all right, well, they're having fun. So that's good.
Did you see the jungle juice we made?
I did not.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. But.
And we brought it back. I think it was sitting in our garage for like at least a month until we brought it back out for the last game.
Brought it back for Iowa.
We had it for the what game was it? Like in October.
So we originally made it for Rutgers, and then we re-drank it for Iowa. So what's the time gap there? Is that 3 weeks?
About three weeks.
So you're telling me it's just sitting in a Tupperware container?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
Gatorade jug.
You know they'll give you dump on coaches? That's what we had it
just
in.
marinating in there.
Yeah. It's like whiskey, it gets better age.
Yeah, so we made some sort of version of our own wine, and it was very good. Tailgate wine.
You'll have to trademark it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We'll start bottling it.
The 10K wine, it's just jungle sitting there for a month.
Gopherade.
Gopherade, yes.
I like it.
It's aged jungle
21
juice.
plus.
Yep.
Unlike Gatorade.
The issue is, though, we kept it out in the garage for weeks. So when we took it to the Iowa game, it actually got frozen in place. So
the tap did.
Yeah, so as soon as we
tap.
activated it to start pouring it, it got stuck and we couldn't unstuck it. So I think we just kept getting cups and filling them up and getting cup after cup after cup. But that was a shit show.
And then we eventually just had to watch it drain out of it. It was basically like watching a boat sink in sadness. The whole thing was just falling out. But yeah, that Iowa game was cold. You were telling us about that. That's the coldest game you ever played?
By far the coldest game I've ever played in, and we were talking about it. It was the wind, and I know you guys had little tent trouble before the game, but we were freezing. The freaking water bottles were frozen before the damn thing. They had to stick them on the bench to heat it up, and I mean your toes were just about to break off. It was damn so cold, but I mean it was, and especially in a game like that where it's as physical as can be, where you're just banging constantly throughout the game. It just. Afterwards, you felt like absolute shit.
Yeah.
Do you guys do you try to embrace the cold? Like,
hell
you're
yeah.
Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, before the game, we went out there with no shirts.
Yeah,
on.
I remember that.
There was a few
Tarps off.
Exactly. There was a few linebackers like, no, we're gonna keep the shirts on. I'm like, I'm not starting the fucking warm ups. Everybody has our shirts off, and it's actually a great picture. I can show you guys after this, but we got a good picture of all the linebackers, and our freaking nips are just frozen.
Pointy as fuck.
Yes.
A few of the guys got water, just ice in their beard. It was so freaking cold, but you'll remember that and. Just that experience.
Well, something fans always wonder, when we're just freezing our asses off at games, we're like, the players in the field got to be even more cold. They're wearing less layers than us. Is that true? Like when you're running around, you got the adrenaline, or are you guys still just out there shivering?
I mean, it depends. So we got those heated benches, which are great because they're extremely hot. Like there's times where you actually like you'll start burning your skin and stuff. So you'll have to turn those down sometimes. So those do a great job, and then the coach do a great job. But when you're actually running around, you don't feel it. The problem is in a game like that where like Minnesota, Iowa just hold on to the football and run the ball is you will start to get cold. Your joints will start to freeze up. So you'll have to get up, start moving around. When there's 6-7 minute drives getting placed. So I mean, you're not thinking about it. It's really after where once the adrenaline cools off where your body is just like holy shit because you're just banging and freezing weather that like the hits just add up double afterwards.
Yeah, because that's gotta hurt, right? When the air is literally real feel -5 and you run at someone in full speed. Yeah, that contact can't feel good.
I mean, yeah, like I said, in the moment you don't feel it, but afterwards it freaking
catches up.
Yeah, it catches up.
Do those those long, like you just mentioned them, those long Sith Lord looking jackets? Do those actually like work? Are they
Sith Lord?
I don't know. Yeah. Do they actually work? Are they warm?
Oh, they're really warm. So actually, what I do is I like to use it as a blanket. So like, I hate to walk around with it because I feel like a little bit of a bitch, and like the mentality is you shouldn't be using that. So I'll use. I will accept. Using it as a blanket when you're sitting on the heated benches, but once it's time to stand up and go out there, put that shit down. And
be a man.
Yeah, be a man.
Grow up.
Be a man. Yeah. Don't be a bitch. No.
So obviously you guys got a big time bowl game coming up when you play Syracuse in the Pinstripe Bowl a few weeks from now. Are you excited? What are your initial thoughts on the matchup, man?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I know some of the guys were like, well, we're in Minnesota. It's freezing temperatures year round, and now we're going to freezing temperatures out in New York. But, to be out in New York during, Christmas time and then New Year's Eve is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, there could be worse places to be.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Out of the few bowls that we were going to be in, like Nashville or Charlotte for the Duke's Mayo Bowl, I wanted to go to the Pinstripe just because there's so much to do out there, and we're going to have a blast doing it. And then it's a great opponent as well. Get to play in Yankee Stadium, which is going to be really exciting.
What do you think? Like, is this kind of like a home game for Syracuse? Like, are you guys upset about that or not really?
Nah, I mean,
Gopher fans travel well.
Yeah, Gopher fans travel well, and also, I mean, when you're in New York City, there's so many people that like just are in town visiting that are going to go to the game. So there's just fans of the game out there. That's we've had coaches that have been in that bowl game before, and they're like, there's people that are in town for New Year's Eve, like, hey, let's just go watch a football game. So yeah, there'll be some Syracuse fans there, but I mean, fuck it, we play on the road all the time, so that's just the mentality you have to have when you're going out there.
Well, and it's being played at Yankee Stadium. Little known fact: this is not the first football game played at Yankee Stadium this year. Have you ever heard of the Cortaca Jug? Cortaca Jug?
No, please inform me.
Okay, so backstory: when we went to the Bills game in Buffalo, we stayed in a hotel room overnight and woke up severely hungover to local television, and it was highlights of the Cortaca Jug, which, Cam, what is it again?
It's like the two teams. Yeah. It's like Ithaca and Cortland. It's like D3 New York football, and it was electric.
So
is this like an annual game?
Yeah. And it's clearly like a very local thing because there was a whole 9 people at the game, at least when we watched it. But
I think it's like Tommy's and Johnny's.
Yeah,
it's basically like that.
Probably even less popular.
If you're shutting down Yankee Stadium to play a football game, it's going to be big time.
Exactly, which is crazy. But what I was going to say was I was kind of surprised that you weren't a little upset that you guys weren't playing in the Duke's Mayo Bowl because you just seem like a Mayo guy. You seem like a guy who just eats.
Is that insulting?
No.
Mayo's good.
It's not an insult.
All the Mayo guy. I mean, I don't know. I am a big foodie, but I don't know. I mean, mayo. I put it on some things. Like,
okay,
I hate it on burgers. I mean, it's got to be like a BLT. Like that's about it. Like, I mean,
would you let someone dump a ton of it on you though if you want it?
Yeah.
See. You're that kind of character. That's
you don't have to eat that though.
No.
I mean, I'd be eating it just like if it's dumped on me and we're winning a football game. Like heck yeah, I'm gonna eat it. But I don't know what gives off me being a Mayo guy.
I think it's football guys. I think it's kind of synonymous with Mayo guys because I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can't explain it, but I don't know. You just seem.
Well, I was gonna say you do have a bit Meals with Mariano.
Yeah.
So maybe that just goes hand in hand. We're thinking football, Duke's Mayo Bowl, football guy. It's a bowl game.
I think just football guys in general are Mayo guys.
Yeah.
Sandwich guys.
Condiments guys.
I mean, what would you pick as your favorite condiment? I mean,
me?
Yeah.
Ketchup's pretty good.
Ketchup's good. Honey mustard's good. Yeah.
Well,
Like on a ham and turkey sandwich?
A hamburger is good.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a mayo guy.
But we're talking about
By the way,
sandwiches.
by the way, I am
barbecue sauce a condiment, or
Yeah, that counts.
Is it a sauce though? Why isn't it? What's the difference between a sauce and
I think
a
if you just
condiment?
put it on something, it's a condiment, right?
Okay, well you put sauce on. I mean,
Yeah.
People do say you put sauce on something rather than a condiment.
Yeah, but aren't they like exchangeable terms?
Interchangeable?
Let's spend the next 30 minutes debating this.
I don't know.
This
Because
is serious. This
do
is
people...
serious.
I think it would be kind of weird if someone said, I'm putting up ketchup sauce on my...
I'm just going to search what is a condiment.
I'm already doing
Okay,
it.
Jeff.
Condiment is a preparation that is added to food, typically after cooking, to impart a specific flavor, to enhance the flavor, or
AKA
to
sauce.
complete the dish. So it could be anything you
Well,
want.
now we got to look up the definition of a sauce.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
that's
let's go.
condiment. A sauce. I spelled it wrong. That's nice. Forgot the U.
Meat sauce would be upset there, bud.
Yeah.
he would be.
Okay, in cooking, sauce is a liquid cream or semi-solid food served on or used in preparing other foods. So it sounds like sauce is added to the dish itself. A condiment is added after to enhance the flavor of the dish itself.
Yeah, it's like a secondary.
Okay.
Okay.
By definition. Now we're getting very technical with it, but I think
That's-
people use them interchangeably
Okay,
all the
so
time.
no, it's fine. You're not a mayo guy.
Yeah.
Jake-
Come full circle. We're
Jake's
back
a-
to the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Jake's a mayo guy.
I'm a big mayo guy.
He would have loved it.
I could eat mayo raw.
Yeah, you're
Raw. Like without with not being on anything. Like that's
you would
what
just,
I mean by
you
that.
would just like after 20 beers would just squeeze it in your mouth like a psychopath.
I'd probably do that with 0 beers
Okay.
because I'm a psychopath.
Dude, there's some people who claim that like mayo is way better than ketchup for dipping fries in. Are you one of those guys, Jake? Do you dip your fries in mayo?
I have actually don't even know if I've ever done that before, but I would totally do that. I think that'd be amazing.
If he said yeah, I was going to scooch my chair over.
No. I've never done that, but I will do it.
He's
someday,
got the
so.
idea now.
I have the idea. It's going to happen one of these days.
It's like the first time you microwave cheese. You're like, I didn't know this was possible.
Yeah,
I'm
wow.
going to start doing this all the time.
This is pretty cool. Well, what I did over the weekend, I dipped popcorn in ranch.
Oh, yeah.
That was really good.
Your
ever try that?
Midwesterners love ranch too much, I think.
Yeah.
Ranch is amazing, though.
Well, is ranch a sauce or a condiment?
That is a condiment.
It is. Because it goes on. I mean, what are you preparing with ranch?
Right. You're not like
Yeah.
putting something in the oven with ranch in it, right?
Unless it's like dry rub wings. They have like a ranch seasoning sometimes.
Right.
But
Powder,
that's
yeah.
all I
That's
could
more
think
of
of.
flavoring. All right.
don't
Back,
know. This
back,
is a
back,
weird
to, back to
debate.
football.
Oh, this is,
Well-
I mean, hey, this is good content right here.
Let's stay on the topic of food. So, no, you're a big meal guy. You did your meals with Mariano thing. What's your go-to game day meal? Your go-to meal in general? And what's like the best place? What's the best meal you've had in Minnesota in your time being here?
man.
So there's 3 loaded questions
So
there.
we'll start with the game day routine. So we get served the exact same thing from the time we get to the hotel, whether it's a home game or away game. We get served the exact same thing for dinner, for breakfast, and like pregame meal every time. No matter where we are, it's the exact same. And so for our nighttime, it's chicken tenders and filet mignons. And like it's always
That's good.
like we know the quality of chicken tendies that we're gonna get at home, and it's got to be the crispy ones, and like the thick breading.
Yeah.
And then when we go on the road, it's just like everybody's just praying to God that we can get crispy chicken tendies. You go to Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, they probably don't fucking
no.
exist
Yeah.
there. They probably just give you a chicken there.
No, the worst is Illinois. Like, I mean, some of these places, like you just thank God that you're in a civilization.
Yeah.
Minneapolis, where you can actually get quality food. Like some of these small town college towns are just like, I don't know what they're supplying with their food, but it's just no good. But at home we get phenomenal food, so it's always interesting. But and for my pregame meal, I literally cannot eat like on game day at all. So, but I'm a little superstitious. I'm not. I'm a little.
You're a little
superstitious.
Right.
I have to put 3 green beans and like a chunk of chicken. Like, so we get chicken breast, but I cannot put the full chicken breast. I have to peel a little chicken breast and put it on there. And I'll eat one of the green beans, leave 2 on there, and then take half of the chicken. And it's weird.
Well, how did this start?
That's a good question.
I think it started when I was a freshman and like I wasn't playing. Like the freshmen that are traveling that aren't playing are just loading up. You can tell because they don't give a shit.
They're on vacation.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah. You're at the night at the hotel, like you're eating the ice cream. You're smiling and laughing. You're not like you're obviously locked in to go win a football game, but you're not too concerned about what you're eating. And like as I was playing more and more, it just became less and less. And I just noticed that like there was every time I just put like 3 green beans and like the smallest piece of chicken on there. And then I was just like, hey, this is what has to be put on my plate every time. And for the last 3 years, it's been like that. I can't tell you the exact time it started, but it's always funny because the guys around me will look at me and laugh and just picking away 3 green beans. And I'll be like counting. I'm like, oh, that's 4. Pull them back. A little piece of chicken. And I don't even eat the whole thing, but it's got to be on.
Dude, that's hilarious how you didn't even plan that. You just one day you realize, I do this every day.
Yeah, wow.
You're pretty damn good, though, so I wouldn't question it at all.
I mean,
been consistent. I mean, all Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, I would keep continuing that meal routine for the rest of your life.
I try superstitions, and they actually make me worse. So
I've just cut out superstitions.
I don't have magic on my side.
Yeah, or karma or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of weird to think that while you're eating like your pregame meal or your green bean and your half chicken, that we're just like shit faced already.
Yeah. No, I know. We'll be driving. I'll see the stories because I'll get my music queued up as we're heading on the bus ride to the game, and I'll see the social media, just people having fun. And I mean, not that we're not having fun; we're having the time of our life. But it's just
you're
in a serious mode.
Yeah,
we're all that has to actually be weird. You're like really locked in for a game. I got to go play. You're trying to know the playbook, getting into the game. And then there's all these. You're seeing videos of these fans just getting absolutely getting blasted in the parking lot outside the stadium.
I know my dad's always having a good time too, and like it's always like. At the pregame Gopher walk, and I can tell he's just having a great time, and I just in my head I'm just like, oh my god, because I know at the tailgate like he's a lot like me, so who knows what the hell he's gonna do when he's drunk. So I'm just sitting there like, and sometimes I'll get texts from like my buddies will be at the game from in town, they're like, your dad's awesome, and I'm just reading that like, I don't know. I know why. Like it's like it was literally the Penn State game. I had 2 buddies from my hometown fly out there, and they're like, your dad's a legend. I'm just like, I'm not even responding. Like no good is coming from this text. So
right.
It was funny.
That's that's one of those funny things that I think about that makes football great, is that there was a tradition started at some point in time where someone's like, I'm gonna still watch this sport, but I'm gonna get absolutely loaded while I do it.
Yeah.
And now it's just like it's a tradition. Like everyone gets up early, goes to the parking lot, 7, 8 in the morning, and then just starts getting after it, then goes into the game, and that's just the beauty of it. It's fun.
No, I've never been able to enjoy it like that, and my time is coming.
Yeah, next year.
My time is coming.
It's getting very close.
Yes, it's closer, each and every day. But I'm gonna trust me. I'm gonna play football as long as I can. But the day where I can enjoy a beer or 2 or 3
or 4,
or just keep it going at a football game is gonna be fun. And I know like we've talked about it as players coming back to like Gopher games when we're 40, we're just gonna be absolute.
Getting after
when you do, shoot me a text. We'll tailgate.
We'll already be out there, actually. Yeah, we'll already be out there.
Jack and I got our first season tickets this year. I think JJ has been a season ticket holder forever. Cam also got one with us this year, too. But I feel like have you ever gotten tickets in the past, Cam? Like, you've been a big Gopher fan, not season tickets. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we went to so many individual games last year. We're like, let's just get the season tickets, and it's a heck of a value. Like, you save so much money instead of buying the individual tickets by just doing season tickets. So, yeah, it was an eventful year, to say the least.
Yeah, 100%.
And then the road games the road games are still fun to travel to. So I was in Lincoln. I don't know if you saw any of those videos. I was up to like 4 a.m. the night before the game. Like, it was horrible. It was really bad. And I had to wake up at like 7 to go down to the game, and we were drinking even more before the game at 11 a.m. or whatever. And yeah, it was fun.
Well, the best bit is like, him being the onside kicking coach. I don't know if you guys talk about that. But I think you were like out in Lincoln at like 4 a.m. You're like, guys, Coach Mike Hawk here doing my pregame routine for the game that's about to happen in 7 hours.
Yeah, it literally was like I just barely got to the hotel somehow at 4 a.m. and made it out to the game. So
what time was that kickoff?
It was 11 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was an 11 a.m. kickoff, and I was staying with my parents, and they were in bed by like midnight, so I was out still, and they were like, all right, let's get up. It was like 8 a.m. I'm like, I've had like 3.5 hours of sleep, if that. But you got to do what you got to do.
That's a dedicated fan right there.
That's what you're going to be doing, Mariano. You're going to be doing that soon. Exactly. It's coming close.
Hey, so we know like a lot of people like to shit on bowl games and the whole format. I guess from a player's perspective, what do you kind of think of the whole format, that there's a bunch of bowl games? You enjoy the experience? And yeah, I guess what are your thoughts on that?
bowl games are by far like the most fun games that you have because you're out there for a week, and I think the fans and the media get caught up in all the rankings and who should be in what bowl, and there's too many bowls, this, that, and the other. But like in all honesty, when you get to spend a week with your team, just playing football and then doing a bunch of activities, going out at night, having a good time, like those are the games you remember the most. So I look back to like the Quick Lane Bowl in Detroit, like everybody like shits on Detroit, and like we have hilarious freaking memories. Like we called it the toilet bowl.
Yeah, everybody says the toilet.
But we had a freaking blast out there. I mean, like the casinos were out there, like dudes were gambling. It was fun. And then you obviously lock in and go win a football game, and that's the best part. And you look at the Outback Bowl. I mean, we're on a beach. How can you not? And then down in Arizona, same thing. We're at the casino. Phoenix is a blast. And, I think this game coming up is going to be probably the most fun that we have just because we're out in New York City, and what isn't there to do there?
Yeah. Have you ever lost a bowl game?
No.
Yeah, there we go.
Damn.
Let's keep it rolling, man.
We got to keep it going.
Yep, let's go.
Is that real wood? Make sure you
it better be. We'll find out come
no more than one
29th.
green bean out there.
Yeah.
Remember that.
3 green beans.
Three green beans.
Three
Three
green beans on the
beans.
plate. You can only eat one.
Yeah.
But I think weird.
I think
I just cannot believe that. That's hilarious.
I think the other like underrated part about bowl games though are like the venues, like the crazy places you guys get to play. Like you get to play at Yankee Stadium, which mostly only professional baseball players get to do that.
It's
so
probably the most iconic, stadium venue in all of sports.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah, that part's pretty neat too. And then, when you played in the Quick Lane Bowl, that was at Ford Field.
Yeah,
was that pretty sweet to play on that?
I heard Ford Field's pretty nice for what it's worth.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on it. I'm just saying.
It's just funny. We laugh because every time the Quick Lane Bowl is brought up, you can't help yourself. You just laugh. Like
our favorite one is always the My Nicky Car Care Bowl of Texas.
I don't think that.
They just have every freaking possible.
Every sponsor, everything. Well, what did they have a few years? They had the Jimmy Kimmel Live Bowl of San Francisco or something. Jimmy Kimmel sponsoring a bowl now? What the fuck's going on here? But I'm sure it was still a great time. Like, I mean, it's just weird. You see all these weird sponsors. And then we were talking about it like on one of our first podcasts like 3 years ago, which is weird to think about now. But of all the crazy bowl games the Gophers have been in just themselves, like the Insight Bowl, then it was like the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, Orange Bowl or whatever, or Citrus Bowl, I should say. And then there was some Meineke Car Care Bowl of Texas, and then all these bowl games. It's crazy how many like strange bowl games they have.
The Poulan Weed Eater Independence Bowl that was active from 1990 to 97.
Oh.
Gaylord Hotels Music City Bowl presented by Bridgestone.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they just keep adding sponsors and names. So the name just keeps getting longer and longer. Like, we're in the Pinstripe Bowl, but I think they got the Bad Boy Mowers attached. It's like the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl sponsored by...
Yeah.
Like,
dude, the player of the game better get a fucking motor. That's all I'm saying.
Bad Boy Motors.
The Cherry Bundy Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl. 2017 to presents. This is a newer one.
Okay.
Who's playing in it this year?
Let me Google it. Let's see.
New Mexico State made the Quick Lane Bowl. They made a bowl.
Dude, they won.
I'm pretty sure they were a 5-win team that got called up because there weren't enough bowl eligible teams.
Yeah.
Who's playing in Boca Raton this year? Okay, let's see here. And the website is not up to date.
Yeah, classic.
That one might be
the par for the course.
That one might be done. Oh, you found it? Liberty in Toledo.
See, I just thought you watched so much college football that you knew that off the top of your head.
He's got it all pulled up. Okay,
he already has it up.
Cam. Okay, I guess a quick question for you. This one might hit a little close to home, but which loss hurt more, the loss to Purdue on homecoming or the loss to Jake and I in a scramble with Tanner Morgan?
Oh, it's definitely the scramble.
Yeah.
Definitely the scramble. Because Tanner Morgan just...
Tanner Morgan.
Tanner Morgan had a rough day on
Should
the
I be
golf.
ashamed that I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now?
Think about your worst day on the golf course and then think about it times 10. That was Tanner.
Literally, I think I told you guys upstairs, we played 5 or 6 times later in the summer, and he smoked me each time. If we were to play on that given day, I'd beat him by 20 strokes. I mean, he was brutal, but I mean, it's not like I was much better, but we just like to blame Tanner. I mean,
that was the fun thing to do that day, though.
Shout out to you, Jack, because you edited that video, and there were some funny shots in there, but he didn't look horrible in the video.
I made sure to protect Tanner and Mariano. It was before a season. I didn't want the Gopher fan base to be worried.
I will say, like, I think it was just the first few holes, and then it got a little better. But I just still remember that it was like that fourth hole though, where you both barely got out the tee box.
The first 3 holes, they were very optimistic. Like, comeback is coming. I can feel it. Tanner said multiple times, "Don't let me get hot." And by hole 4, you're like, "This is bad."
But he did get that long chip in, and he's like, "Yep, I'm back." But then the next hole, he just fucked.
Well,
it
no,
up.
I dropped like a 30-foot birdie putt to tie him.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Well, there was a hole. It was that one where you had to tee off on the
mat.
Yeah, there was a ball that we
gross.
found. It wasn't even our ball, and we're like, fuck it. Like, we're so screwed at this point. And I'm like, here it is. We found this ball.
Wait,
like,
I said at the time, I'm like, is that really their ball? And you're like, yep. I'm like, we got to review the tape later. And I was joking. So now we know that was a
I think
fake
I remember
ball.
saying it must have hit a tree or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, credit to you for being honest right now, though. Wow.
I love it.
That's a good bit, though. It's like, oh, well, this is a ball, so I guess it's mine now. Finders keepers.
Going back, we didn't look too hard, to make sure it was ours, but deep down, I know it wasn't our ball.
Was it you who like smoked the driving range
Yes, I was
shed?
going to bring that up.
was me.
On
Yes,
9,
that
you
was
just
me.
hit a banana cut piss missile directly over the fence that's supposed to protect people on the driving range, and you could hear it bang smoke like the shed that they put the range machine in.
It was kind of delayed too. Like we played at Valleywood like a few times throughout the summer after that. Whenever I go by that hole, I'm like, oh yeah, Mariano hit the shed over there.
Yes.
And I still
You did that
remember
on a
it.
scramble, motherfucker.
Yeah. And really quick, I just remember that right when you hit it, you're like, oh shit, is that going towards the range? It was very delayed, and we're like, oh shit, it's going towards the range. 4! And we yelled it way too late, I think.
Well, that's because, honestly, if it was like 4 feet over, I think it was going to smoke somebody.
Yeah, it was.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, you were like, I'm just glad no one's hurt.
Yeah, we're good. Oh,
That would
man.
have been great.
Hey, at least
content.
they let you golf for free that day, so it would be a little cheaper to pay for the medical bills at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have a little bit of money left over for that, but
You guys turned it up on the back though.
we did. In all honesty, we were screwed from the start. If we didn't cheat on that one hole, that probably would have added a few strokes, and oh god, it was just a disastrous day overall.
How would you rank yourself as a golfer? Are you pretty good?
If I'm playing somebody that I've never played, I tell them I'm very good.
Yeah.
And then
Gets in their
they're
head.
like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's golf. Like, I want to golf you. Like, I will kick the shit out of you. And then we get out to the course, and I'm like, yeah, I was actually kind of fucking around.
Well, one thing I heard about you is you actually do crush it off the tee.
You hit.
That-
So
that-
you're
yeah,
one of
it's
those
a
guys
piss
who
missile.
hits a 4-iron off the tee and like flies my tee shot.
Me,
with a driver.
same.
It's on the Christmas list, so I got to figure out
You
which
upgrade
one
the
exactly
driver?
to get a driver, because my last driver is in the bottom of a pond somewhere.
Oh, you don't even own one.
No, I don't. I do own a cheap used one, but it's not even worth pulling out. Like, I had a nice one, broke it in half, put it to the bottom of the lake, and I'm like, I'm not good enough to use a driver, so I think I went like 3 summers without a driver, but it's coming back.
Yeah.
So
You got to get fitted.
come back.
I got to go over to what is it?
Second swing.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah, no. Hey,
Gotta
I got,
specify
Not
that.
yet.
Now that
got-
we're on the topic of second swing, go check out their.
Yeah.
Go check out their wide collection of great used golf clubs.
They actually do have great.
They do.
I got fitted there last
It's
spring.
a great business.
I got my no, I shouldn't say I got my Minnesota Gopher golf bag from Second Swing. I got that because I was a member of the University of Minnesota Golden Gopher golf team.
Complimentary.
Coach Hawk was supposed to be a golfer. Well, he could have been, but he decided to go on onside kicking.
Onside cocaine consumption.
yeah.
No, he's great at that.
Onside coaching.
Fuck it.
It was great. I will say it was great that day seeing me and Jack were laughing when we saw just Tanner getting pissed off.
Dude, he
'Cause he seems like a calm, cordial guy, and just as him get a little angry, it was pretty entertaining.
When me and him are out there, and usually I'm an absolute head case on the course. I was keeping it cool for the cameras and stuff, but like, there's multiple times where I've like just left the course and quit, like
Rage
mid-round.
quit?
Oh, mid round. It started back in high school. It's like I'll never forget this. I'm super competitive, and like when we're all my buddies, like we all suck equally, so it's an extremely competitive match. It's like who's gonna suck less on this given day, like who's gonna break 100 and win this round. And it was like I was down like 7 strokes after the first 3 holes, and I'm like I'm not even gonna fucking finish this round. It's not worth it. And I remember like cursing, fucking throwing my shit, and I just left. And like as I'm leaving the course, and it's like hole 3, and like they're like, and they're like, this guy, like
that might be the earliest rage quit ever.
They've known me forever, and so they're just like, all right, whatever. Like he's leaving, and as I'm leaving, like the road is like going down the next tee box, like where they're freaking teeing off, and I'm just laying on my horn. They're like flicking me off, and I'll never forget that. That was like junior year of high school.
Good.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of.
I think I've quit. I've quit on 7 before.
7.
I've never done 3 though.
Yeah.
I've never quit early, but I think my version of aggressively rage quitting is just starting to drink an aggressive amount and then just playing horribly and somehow getting through 18.
Yeah, that's kind of what you have to do.
But
when you're paying,
it might be. I was gonna say I might be better off just leaving the course at that point. I do. Yeah, and I broke one this year.
There's not a more freeing feeling in the world than just letting a club fly, though.
Yeah.
On a bad day.
It is one of the greatest feelings.
I need like they say the left hand throw is good with the ball because it's humbling to like
throw it the opposite arm,
and it'll do less damage too because the harder you throw it, the more it could break. Right. So
that's actually great advice. Use the left hand, chuck something quick. Yeah,
I'm lefty, so I have to throw my right hand. Yes. But yeah, I would not go very far. I can tell you that. I've done like the flip the driver upside down and the baseball hit it against the ball washer, shatter it. That's the last time I broke a club. I felt so bad.
Was that your dad's?
Well, my parents paid for a full set, and that club was being very naughty that day. 6 slices in a row, and by number 6, it was like this.
It's all the club's fault. You're right.
Yeah,
yes.
Fucking TaylorMade. Not a sponsor.
You're better off, if you're like maybe the first round of the year when you don't know if you're going to be that great. I mean, realistically, you should go in with low hopes anyway, so you shouldn't be pissed off. But that's not what we do. But you do what our big friend Bubba did and buy a cheap Walmart set and break every single club through a round of 18.
Yeah.
Just get it out of the system, so you're not doing it in your actual clubs.
What I usually do is, when I'm raging, well, first off, every time I start a match, I'm like, I have barely been out this year. It's like my 12th time golf, and I'm like, one of the first times I'm out this year.
Undercommit, over deliver. I like it. Yeah.
And then once it starts going to shit, like I just act like I'm not trying. So like I won't take any practice swings. I'll just walk up to a ball and hit it, and like everybody's just like, I'm sure I'm so bad to play with. I would kick my ass if I had to play with me.
You were good that day. I think it's just the cameras.
It was the cameras.
We'll get Tanner back. We'll do a rematch on the simulator. We talked about that. A lot of simulator golf around the Twin Cities that we can do.
It's the simulator's fault. That's what.
Yeah, then you can be like, damn technology.
Inaccurate. Yeah, give me optimism.
People don't realize, though, if there's a camera behind you when you start to golf, even if you know no one's going to see that fucking shit, you start performing horribly.
I know.
It's happened to everyone in this room, I feel like.
Not me, only because no, because I need to take any chance I can to be good at something, and
and you are good at golf. That is true.
That's the one sport I ever excelled at. I'm awful at literally anything else in life, pretty much. So that's the one time where I excel. So when you put a camera on me, I'm like, we're gonna get evidence of this.
But that reminds me of
what?
Except on Fox 9 at Golf Zone.
True. Oh yeah, I did get cooked.
Too.
I got cooked by an old man on Fox 9 in a long drive contest. That's because so long drive contest.
The reason for this one?
So you have to hit the ball straight in a long drive contest. Like you can't hit a 300-yard tee shot 20 yards left, and in a normal long drive contest it has to be straight. So at Golf Zone when they had Fox 9 out there, I hit. Actually, what was the guy's name? I think it was Alvin. Probably a 75-year-old retired man, hit a tee shot, probably a good 140, and I'm like, this guy's fucking done. Like I'm gonna retire this guy again. And I tee up and I hit it, and probably goes 100 yards left. So I automatically lose, and Brian announces it on camera. He's like,
on Fox.
and see, Alvin hits it further than Jack, so he wins. And I'm like, that's not true, but I'm not going to fight with you right now about it.
Still got a hole in one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that matters.
The 24-hour hole-in-one thing? Yeah, I saw that.
That also was, that's just not.
We went to a wild game that night, too. Yeah. Well, you were the only one that participated in that, but, we all went to the wild game that night, so I don't know how you got over there. Yeah.
It was like the first snowfall of the year, dude.
Yeah, right when you got the hole-in-one, it was just all a magical experience.
Yeah.
Hey, you practiced against Mo a lot over the years. I mean, what's it like trying to tackle the motherfucker? It looks horrible.
It is.
He's quick.
It is. I mean, in recent years, you can't take him to the ground, so I haven't gone up against him in a long time. I think the last time I live tackled Mo was probably 2020 COVID season.
Okay.
So it's been a while, but he's a motherfucker.
Yes.
And you see it, when he plays, he just mows people over.
Yeah.
Literally, mows over.
It works.
Go, Mo, go.
Well, we were talking with you before the podcast began. We were talking about how Iowa knew he was getting the ball every play, and he still put up 260. That is unreal.
Yeah, and especially against a defense like that, they got some of the best backers in the country, best front seven in the country. So for him to do that, and our own line to do that on them was really exciting. And that's a game that you'll think about for a while, where we just didn't make as many plays as they did, and they made a few more than us and won that football game. But yeah, I mean, just to see the performance that we had, it was a fun game to play, and you'll remember it for a long time. So
it was a fun game to watch too.
It's still incredibly super competitive.
Yeah,
it was great.
You have those games that are fun in the sense of it's a shootout, and then you have those games like Iowa where it's like these are two really good defenses and it's cold, so they're just trying to lock each other down, and it's kind of a defensive battle in that sense.
Well, that's Big Ten football too.
Yeah,
that's right.
Especially on the west side, you got to stop the run, and you got to be able to run the football, and
you got to run the damn ball.
Yeah, exactly. And in that game, it was exactly that. And they made a few plays that came down to the turnover battle, and that's why they were able to win the game there at the end. So
it's the way she goes.
It is. It happens like that sometimes, but you're not going to sit here and beat yourself up. Especially in a game like that. You lost, but you're proud of the way your team played, and how hard everybody played in that.
Yeah. Really quick, going back to Wisconsin, mostly me, 2 episodes ago basically bitched about all of the traditions they have in the stadium. Coming from someone who's actually on defense, does it annoy you when they say 1st and 10 Wisconsin, 1st and 10, or do you tune that out?
I honestly didn't even notice that.
They do that shit there.
Every first down.
It can't be as bad though. Have you ever been to a Northwestern game?
No,
I have not.
I don't know if I ever want to go
high
there.
School football.
High school football.
Honestly, it's worth it to go see just what the stadium looks like, and just thank God that
we have
there. But anyways, being from Chicago, I've been to a lot of Northwestern football games. Anywho, when they get a first down, it's like first down Wildcats, and they have this Wildcat that's like, yeah! It is brutal. I bet you can look.
No,
I mean, it's probably one of the worst first down calls in all of college football. I mean, it is so loud, just ear piercing. But
at a stadium like that, when it'd be one thing if there was more people there.
It's there's 100,000 people there.
Yeah, you have crowd noise kind of overdoing it. It's just probably kind of dead and just
that actually should be our next year's road trip. We should do Northwestern.
People say it's cheap.
That'd be a good bet.
It is cheap, and then you get to do Chicago.
Yeah, true.
Go out in Chicago and see all that, and then you get to go watch a high school.
Northwestern, they never have anyone who show up to their games, right?
They play in a very small field.
Yeah, no, but it's really community based too. That area, Evanston, Northside Chicago, it's older population that come out to the football game. But did you see actually they're gonna renovate? Did you see that?
I did not.
It looks like Allianz Field.
Oh, really?
Pull up the Northwestern football renovation plans.
I can't pull that shit up.
It looks like Allianz.
It feels like we have producer Jamie in here, Cam. God.
Put that shit up, Jamie.
So basically, they want to make it look like a UFO.
It's like a European.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. That is a lot like that.
So they're gonna.
Are they gonna be able to fill that? Do you think?
They're downsizing.
Okay.
So it's gonna be smaller, which will make it a better atmosphere.
Yeah.
Wait, are they building a completely new venue, or are they building around the current one?
No, they're tearing down.
Okay.
Yep.
Taking down the metal bleachers.
Yep.
And...
Oh, they're fully tearing down, so they're going to play somewhere else temporarily, or
they might play at Soldier Field because I think
the
Bears are moving too. So
that's right.
Yeah.
I remember when you guys played Northwestern in 2019. It was 30-mile-an-hour winds or something.
It's called the Windy City.
It was really windy. Or am I thinking of?
I think I know what you're.
Was it a home game or an away game?
It was away at Northwestern.
Yeah.
I remember because Bateman made a catch in the end zone. And I was like,
that's right.
How was Tanner able to place the ball there with 80-mile-an-hour winds?
For some reason, every time we play in Northwestern, we get goofy weather. And it's just because it's right on the lakefront.
Yeah.
So you're just getting all that lake effect, either snow, wind, rain, and they got the grass too, and it's literally like a cabbage patch out there too. So you're running around on the worst grass in all of America. Well, no, I got to say Soldier Field has the worst grass in all of America, but Northwestern likes to, compete for him with that.
Yeah, it's a local Chicago battle.
It is.
Yeah,
the worst
territorial
grass.
thing.
Hey, Tanner's been hurt for a little bit. How's he been doing lately?
He's been good.
Yeah.
He's been good. Yeah. No, he he had a little bit of a injury throughout the year, and he had to miss some games, but he's been getting back and healthy, and we'll see if he plays in the bowl game. But
that'd be awesome.
Just to see that he's healthy and doing well, and he's been able to start practicing, working out, and things like that has been good.
Yeah, I think it's probably every player's worst nightmare to get your senior season, get like a big injury like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But you all know Tanner. Like
he's a tough dude.
A tough dude, exactly.
Mentally tough too. Yeah.
And a guy that's been through so much adversity. For him to overcome time after time all those battles. That's a guy that you want by your side. That's a guy you want.
Absolutely.
He's a tough man.
Yep. So.
On top of that, he's a good fucking person too. Remember, we had him on a radio show. He's like, "Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was just at this charity event," and I was like,
It was like a
don't
Halloween
apologize to us,
thing
man.
with
You're
kids and
fine."
stuff. Yeah, yeah. We're like, dude,
Children.
we're waiting for you, dude. Like,
You're good.
You're good, man.
Oh, speaking of that, were you at Baldy's barbecue prior to? Oh man, was it like
It's the 2021 season?
Yeah.
When they did the signing?
Yeah.
Nah, I wasn't there.
Okay, well, there were kids running around. We were interviewing, I think we had the mic. We were there interviewing Tanner and Mo with the mics. And, like, these kids came up and just started hucking water balloons at us.
In the mid-interview.
And, like, half of them
was
wouldn't
great.
break. They would just hurt.
Yeah. The kid would come up right at
Just
your
thought
crotch.
of that story.
Did they
didn't
know?
break.
Did they know who you were? Or no.
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 I mean, they knew who Tanner was, obviously.
Yeah,
but we're
obviously.
just sitting there mid-interview, and then just, like, you see Jake just take a balloon to the cops.
I'm like, what the hell? I was just about to ask him like a question. So Tanner, I'm like, oh shit, and then Tanner he grabs someone, starts chucking them at kids,
Yeah.
and it was a great time.
2 questions. Like, first off, like, where are these children's parents?
I don't know.
Right,
Where
correct.
are the water balloons coming from?
I think Baldy was supplying
I
it.
think he was. Yes, he
Motherfucker.
was. Yeah, I think he probably told you. He's probably the inside guy.
Probably pointed at you, and he's like, go hit that
Fuck those guys up.
goofy-looking motherfucker.
Yeah, right?
there.
Seriously.
I think Baldy might be like the biggest Minnesota Gopher football fan. He might.
Yeah, but he played at Missouri.
He did? I
Yeah,
didn't even know
so-
he played.
Yeah.
Same color scheme.
So he's
There you
a
go.
big Missouri guy. So, but he does
one color.
tailgate well. I mean,
He
got
travels
Baldies
to
and-
almost every away game too.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think I gave his daughter gloves after the Michigan
Yeah.
State game because
Yeah.
they were right in the front.
Yeah,
row.
he tweeted about it, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He's always giving us.
You ever eaten at his restaurant?
He caters it in all the time. So
Oh, yeah.
it's
Hell
very
yeah.
good. I don't-
So good.
When I don't have to go there and I can get like trays full of it, that's the best. It's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah.
Well, he's opened up a new restaurant in like downtown Lakeville. I think it's like the tailgate at Baldy's or something.
yeah, or
it's gonna be
it's
a
a
big
sports
ass.
bar.
Like it's an old bowling alley in Lakeville that used to be down there. So it's gonna be a huge, big sports bar. I think he's gonna put like golf simulators in there and everything.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but he's just a good.
But he
person.
should be.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah.
That's an
It's a good time.
invitation.
Go support Baldy.
Well, are we, Mariano? I know we talk about your time coming eventually, maybe to tailgate, but maybe that's not going to happen just yet. Because are we going to see you in the FL? Are we going to see you in the NFL?
That's the goal. I mean,
Yeah, good.
You know how competitive it is at
Yeah.
the next level.
Yeah.
So I mean, after the season, after the bowl game, I'm going to start training.
Yes.
And see where the game takes me. The goal is to play. As long as I can, maybe make a team for a few years and just see where it goes. But yeah, no, that's every kid's dream coming out of college, go play in the NFL. So I'm obviously going to go pursue it and see where it takes me.
100%.
We'll be rooting you on.
Yeah.
It'll be sweet.
Man. I do have a quick question. Let's say NFL doesn't happen. Would you ever be interested in any other league, like the XFL, CFL, anything like that?
It depends. I mean, we'll see.
Okay.
I know a lot of those, like, they're brutal because you're traveling all over the world and, maybe the pay isn't the best and you're just beating the crap out of your body even more than you already are. So we'll see. I mean, I say that now, but, when the time comes where I'm going to have to hang up the cleats, I'm going to say, fuck this. I want to go keep playing football.
Yeah.
So, well, who sees, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but I'm definitely going to stick around in football as a career. I don't see myself walking away, whether it's coaching or being an NFL agent. One way or another, I'm going to be doing football. So,
Dude, I saw that is it true that you're getting a degree in finance?
I got my degree.
You got your degree,
Yes,
dude.
yes.
First of all, I'm an accountant. Shout out. I was not an athlete at all, and these kind of degrees are hard as fuck to get, man.
Yeah. I'm sure, my buddies listening will laugh at home because
Was it at the Carlson School of Management?
it was at the Carlson.
Damn.
Yes.
Look at you,
Wow.
man.
You're in the upper quartile of the top
upper
quartile
Yeah, you're like the Jim Irsay
of
of
University
students.
of Minnesota students.
Yeah.
COVID definitely helped out. You know, I think it
Shout out to COVID. No.
made the curriculum. See, I can't even say the word.
Curriculum.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Carlson kids, you know.
Say, yeah, we use crayons and things. Like that, but,
Crayons. I wasn't a part of
Scratch on
Carlson, so I don't
tablets.
know. Yeah.
But yeah, no, COVID helped. Like a lot of the professors were like, "Hey, open book, you know, open book tests. You know, hey, we're not even going to do a test." So I'm like, heck yeah. You know, so I took advantage of that for sure.
Because at that time, they're probably like, yeah, we got bigger shit to worry about.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. They were dealing with the same shit we were, where they're stuck in their home for however long everybody was stuck in their home. And they're like,
True.
No, I'm not about to grade a freaking paper. So
Yeah. I mean, we've talked to like a few of the NFL players we've had on about it, but like, how weird was it for you guys not playing in front of fans in 2020?
Yeah, it was really weird. I remember, like, it didn't even feel like that first home game against Michigan, and the season's on, then the season's off, season's back on, and then we're playing in middle of October, like or end of October. I think it was around Halloween. We're playing in Michigan, and you like run out, and there wasn't even like the fireworks. There wasn't even like the smoke machine.
You're basically like
like
scrimmage. You're like Russell Wilson running out and giving high fives to no one.
No, that was a tough time, but you know there was like 100 people in the stands. It was like your family, and to hear like my dad and mom screaming out. This is awesome. Taking me back to like youth football days, where like I can hear my dad yelling in the stands. It was actually kind of like cool,
unique.
Yes, unique.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Different.
Cool is
Bunch of cardboard cutouts in the stands too.
Cardboard cutouts. Actually, the Wisconsin game, they didn't allow any fans.
Yeah,
Like no parents.
Fucking
or anything?
Madison.
But they had a shit ton of cutouts, right? They almost filled the stadium with cutouts. I remember it was like borderline creepy watching the Badger game.
Well, like I know a lot of people are like selling the cutouts too. Like, hey, you want to get a cutout? Like, let's make some money and like you can get your cutout in the.
That's what we did at the Twins game.
Yeah,
Look,
that's all 3 or 4.
that was from Target Field.
Yeah,
awesome.
we were
What they do,
aggressively
just
drunk in
ship
those.
them home to you guys?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How much did it cost?
That was like $80.
Well,
I mean, okay,
you,
so
you
like
guys had beers in yours too, which they end up cutting out of the
they
picture.
cropped out.
Yeah.
Like for us, for like a media company who can use it for content, it's worth it. But I was like, yeah, for everyday people, I don't know if people are paying for this.
You should. I mean, we all look drunk as fuck in all those pictures too. It's they're not flattering.
Yeah.
No, we may or may not have been intoxicated when we took those photos. Like we were, it was during heavy COVID. We had nothing else going on. We're like, oh, let's take this picture.
We're
drinking.
sitting there in our studio, like watching your guys' games at home, being like, this is weird. Yeah. And I remember like the special teams got so hit by it that I think Tanner was punting the ball at one point.
Yeah, we did have a few punts with the quarterback.
What happened? What happened? Because like before the first game of the COVID season, all of a sudden it seemed like half the team was out.
Well,
What happened during that?
There was a few waves, but I remember the first game, like right before all of our specialists got COVID, or like they had the
got bit
tracing or whatever. Even if you didn't have it, you had to sit out. Whatever, blah blah blah. And so like we had no specialists, so we were using like a 4-string punter, like. Dude, and he's always tweeting. It's actually Matthew Stevenson.
We've had him on the show. We've had him and Anders on before. Yeah,
he's hilarious. And, so to have him out there was pretty funny. He's always. I remember him getting in an argument on Twitter one time. He's like, "Dude, I punted the ball like 14 yards
on national TV." I know that tweet.
It's positive yardage, not negative.
Yeah, no, he's hilarious. But it was just crazy because then you go to like later in the year, we go to Nebraska. And we literally had 40 guys out. I think it was like one or two more people. It was literally like one or two more people test positive or like contact tracing. We were gonna have to cancel the game, and we ended up canceling the next week. Because we canceled the Wisconsin game.
Yeah,
or we were canceled before. I don't know. It was crazy.
I'll just never forget when I just see Tanner back to take a punt. I was like,
he can do it all.
I took a mental Snapchat. I'm like, remember this
dual threat.
You're gonna tell your grandkids one day about how you watched. During a pandemic time when teams were just riddled with it and had tons of players out, the quarterback have to punt the ball. Yeah, all around utility player.
Exactly, except when it comes to golf.
Yeah, right. Not a holistic athlete in that sense. But
it's great.
Things. I know we've talked about Northwestern, but like, what would you say is your favorite venue to play at? In terms of like away games.
Excluding Minnesota, of course.
Favorite away games probably. I got to say Camp Randall. That's always a fun one because you got like half Minnesota fans in the stands. And I remember back in 2018, this last game was actually the second time where I got to play with fans. But back in 2018 when we won it there, that was the first time we won it in like 20 years. And the whole stadium cleared out, and we were on the field for literally like an hour. Like, I think they timed it. We were out there for close to an hour just running around. And there was a shit ton of Minnesota fans in the stands. And, you know, this year, that final drive of the game where they're in the 2-minute drill and they kept jumping off sides. That was
hilarious.
I give credit to the Minnesota fans on that because that was right by where our parents section was, and we were loud as fuck. And that was forcing some penalties on their end. So I definitely got to say Camp Randall just because of the rivalry's awesome and probably the best in college football. And then the fact that half the state of Wisconsin lives in Minnesota and half the state of Minnesota goes to Wisconsin. You know, that's what makes it cool and special.
Yeah, because we were in the student section where that was happening, where he just like laughing hysterically, back it up. Yeah. Was that 4 in a row?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
They had a holding.
Then like 3 false starts.
It was nice to see.
Yeah, I love seeing that because you're getting a little nervous, but I'm like, I still think we had it in the bag, honestly.
Shout out Gopher Nation.
But there we go. Row the boat.
Row it.
No, you're onside kicks.
Yep.
It's big.
So I have one. We had Ed Hawthorne. I'm not sure if you ever met him. He's a Gopher in like 94, 95. Before
early 90s.
Early 90s. Like, you guys won the Axe twice in a row. He was on the 2 teams that did that last in like the 90s, right? And he was telling us a story about how children would be in Wisconsin at Camp Randall would be saying the worst fucking shit to him. Do you have any stories about that of fans saying horrible stuff to you, or do you think they'd maybe calm down a little bit?
At Wisconsin, no. I haven't been called, or like, you can't really hear the fans because behind our bench was actually Minnesota.
Okay.
Was our Minnesota section. But at Iowa, it's brutal.
I'm
like,
sure.
They are throwing shit at us, like dumping beer and shit, calling us names, all that. And then they're like looking you up and stuff too. Like, they'll look up your
What's his name?
Yeah.
What high school are you going to?
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I've never done that either.
No, I know. I did that all the time.
In high school, that was my go-to. Like, basically Sherlock Holmes finding out about the players on the
What's
other
his name?
team.
All right, come up with a nickname quick. All right, shout it at him.
Figuring out who the girlfriend is.
Oh, yeah. Instagram.
But yeah, at Iowa, like, just shit getting thrown at us. And they're brutal. I mean, they got nothing better to do. So.
Well, it's Iowa. Dude.
I always said Iowa's just literally come and goes and nothing.
Yep.
Jake,
they have nothing better.
Jake was so mad after the Iowa game. We had to get in a big-ass line to get on the bus. And there's a bunch of Iowa fans in front of us. And Jake, the whole time, it's like, all Iowa is come and goes and farms.
Well, they kept fucking like, yeah, let's go. They're walking by with them like, good luck in your state with fucking nothing. Yeah. I would go 0-12 as a fan.
See those skyscrapers right there? You ever seen one of those?
Yeah. And there's also some lakes up north. There's some rivers over here. Some trees right here.
People that work in there.
I shouldn't have gotten
Not everyone here works on combines.
It's the same with Nebraska too.
It is.
Except I will say their fans are. You know, I'm not going to say.
Oh, they're super nice.
Fans, yeah.
But I will say that their fans are better than Iowa's.
Yeah.
Iowa's are just. Oh.
And Omaha isn't actually that bad. When I went like when I drove. Well, I rate it
based off the chicken tendies and
the worst chicken.
Okay, well I didn't stop there. I just drove through there. I'm like, wow, okay, there's some trees, there's some structure. That's what I was judging off. And then you hit Lincoln.
Until you've gotten Lincoln's chicken tendies, don't talk to me about Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I went to one restaurant though on the night before the game, and it was okay, but then I went to somewhere else the morning of, and it wasn't that great.
I will say that they got a little strip there right outside the stadium. It looks like there's bars and stuff. It looks like a good time. And after the Nebraska game this year, I don't know what happened, but our pilot went MIA.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard about this.
Yeah. Brian was mentioning this.
Our pilot went MIA. So like there was like chatter of it, and like I'm not really paying attention. We're all celebrating like on the bus, and people are like, I'm pretty sure like we're going to be here for a while. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? They're like, the pilot, like, nobody knows where the pilot is. So we actually had to go back to the hotel. And to go back to the hotel, we drove straight down that strip. And we're just getting middle fingered by all the freaking Nebraska fans. It was actually kind of cool because, you know, you're just sitting there basking in the glory. But yeah. And then we're sitting at a freaking hotel, the hotel we were at before, which was much better than sitting on the bus. You got to give a shout out to our ops guys for getting that pulled off. But we're sitting in the bottom of the hotel while Sun Country pilot is MIA.
I love you throw the airliner in there.
Sun Country pilot. What's his name?
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. That'd be a cool sponsor though.
Yeah.
We'll inquire about that one.
After the show, we want to like we're sponsored by Sun Country Airlines. If you use code 10K, you get 20% off a flight.
20% off to your next destination.
Can't guarantee that the pilot will show up. But
Yeah.
Did they
You'll
ever,
get 20%
they
off.
Get
ever,
a free flight to Lincoln, Nebraska.
Did they ever find out where he was? What happened?
I think he might have got sick. I'm not going to sit here. This is all speculation. But
Yeah.
We got home safe.
He went MIA, basically.
I got to turn this full circle. Shout out Sun Country. They treat us with the best hospitality. They got us home safe. And
Shout out.
Yeah.
Row the boat.
Yeah, row the boat.
There we go. Well, really quick before we wrap up, what are your honest thoughts on Do the Gopher?
This motherfucker loves it, by the
So-
way.
so-
Before you
oh,
say
yeah.
anything.
I think my dad loves it too.
I think it's great. I think it's more original than Jump Around.
My favorite one is the Lion King. So
You hold up.
Yeah.
just because I like looking at there's like a crying baby or like
Someone holding up a beer can.
always
Someone
a-
holds up a beer.
There's always a drunk guy holding up a slightly smaller drunk guy.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I was gonna
Or the
say.
students.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. There's somebody getting held up that probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because if they fall, they're going to injure not just themselves, but those
Yeah.
also around them.
Yeah, and the two guys that are trying to hold somebody up should not be trying to hold somebody up. They're all just fucked up. Like, it's great. The traditions there are great. Better than Wisconsin anywhere else.
The singing was what got me at Wisconsin.
It's sick how everyone sings in unison at stuff. I do like that. You're not a fan?
It's annoying.
Okay, but here, I hate the Colorado Avalanche. I still think it's sick when they ended all the small things. The whole stadium kept that
I
shit
know.
going. That was amazing. And I also loved when the Gophers won the Axe last year, how everyone was singing Jump Around
I know.
the
We
Field.
did it.
That was cool.
That
we
was
did it
dope.
100 times better than they did it.
Well, we actually on the
Hands
bus
down.
ride home, we were just blasting Jump Around because we bussed to and from Wisconsin, and we had the speaker on the bus with the axe, and we were just blasting.
God,
Jump
that'd be
Around.
unreal, man.
That's
It was a good
awesome.
time. It was a
That's
good
something
time.
you never forget.
No.
I was going to say, too, Wisconsin does a sing-along song, but it's Fireflies, which is pretty soft.
Yeah, see, that-
Pretty soft.
That's an MLS
That's what
song.
I'm saying. Yeah,
They-
it's not the singing.
That's an MLS.
That's like if you're a soccer team in the MLS. That's your song.
It's not the singing along that bothers me. It's the song.
Yeah.
You would not believe your eyes.
Yeah. It's like, this is football. Not a bunch of football guys in that stadium.
I actually agree with that. That's not the song you want to listen
No,
to.
and that guy's from Minnesota.
Yes, he is.
So,
It's very counterintuitive with them.
no, it doesn't make sense.
My final question for you is any really good PJ stories that you can tell?
Oh man.
That you can disclose on air.
Yeah.
I think the cigar. Did you see him smoking the cigar?
Yeah,
Did he do it
everyone
too?
saw that pic. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was actually ripping heaters. This is. I don't know if you saw on my Instagram. I captioned "Better dead than Marlboro Red."
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
me just
That's
ripping.
great,
Like
man.
I bought a pack of Marlboros for this, and I was like, I'm bringing these. Packed them like in a sock in my duffel bag, and I was like, we better win this game because I want to pull these out. And we got some sick pictures with all the linebackers, but.
That might be a new life motto.
What's that?
That might be
Better
Yeah.
red than
Better dead.
better dead than Marlboro Red.
Better than the red, but Marlboro just adds a whole new flavor to that.
The
phrase.
tobacco companies are gonna come after you for that. Like, oh, hey, here's a deal. You want to sign it? Like,
that,
you want to get kids
Sign it.
You want to get athletes to smoke it? Let's get athletes to smoke.
before every game.
Can you imagine a black and white video? You walking out in the tunnel. My name's Mariano Sori-Marin, and before every game, I enjoy me a Marlboro Red.
He is the most
long
interesting
drive.
man in the
It's just
world.
you huffing, and then it cuts to boom, and then
Cigarettes give me energy.
If Gushers are making stuff for Mo, we got to get Marlboros
Yeah,
to
come
make
on.
stuff here, dude.
Exactly.
that would be sick.
Because
Marlboro Sori-Marin.
Oh,
I feel like that's a good, population of people that maybe don't smoke enough cigarettes. It's like
You'll get them into that market.
demographics.
community.
everyone could use a little bit of tobacco in their lives.
Make cigarettes great again.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God.
We're getting canceled now. This is not good.
This is probably the perfect time to go to the rapid fire.
Yeah.
Or we
Okay,
say too
so
much.
the final thing that we do here is just the rapid fire. Just 10 quick questions. Answer them as fast as you can.
Is it just one word answers or
Whatever you want.
Yeah,
dude.
one,
You
one word.
can. People do elaborate.
Yes,
but we
I'm
try.
somebody that elaborates.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I love we're always like, this is going to be a quick segment, but sometimes it just ends up being our
You
longest
do what you got to
segment,
do.
dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I got nothing besides.
If there's an interesting answer, we will stop you.
Yes.
All right, you're on a deserted island for the rest of your life. You have one song you can listen to for the rest of your time. What is it?
Oh, The Business by Tiesto.
That's okay.
Let's get down.
That's a Vegas song.
Exactly. Hopefully I can hear it in New York City too.
Dude, that was our Vegas song, man. We told you earlier we had this bigger guy named Bubba with our group. And
it was on his top 5 Spotify rap.
Oh yeah, but whenever that song came on, it was just this like 350-pound guy drinking beers in Vegas. And whenever the song come on, he just do this.
And he was wearing women's sunglasses
and smoking darts.
There's nothing wrong with wearing women's sunglasses if you're in the club.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, right.
And I love doing that. So Business Tiesto.
Yo, guess who was there at Vegas when we were there last year? What was her name again? You talked to her a lot more than me.
Annie Agar.
Annie Agar was there. There was like 9,000 guys there.
She's a.
You don't know who Annie Agar is?
She's a goddess. I'm gonna just be honest. I would give up. What?
Is she EDM artist?
No.
She's like
she makes NFL content. You can screen record this
totally
and send it to her all you want. I would.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen this girl.
Oh, okay.
That's her.
Gotcha.
You're like, oh, okay. Yeah, she's beautiful.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys. I would throw all of it away.
Yeah.
Everything. It could end tomorrow. Dude, I'm in.
We were all in Vegas. Jack takes a picture with her. He literally comes back and says the same shit. Dude, I would give my life.
I actually said to her face, I was going to talk to you yesterday, but I was way too nervous. I told her that to her face.
Well, the first day, like, I was very fucked up, and I said, Zane, I'm talking to her. And I think, Jack, you're like, I'm not. No. And then the next year, like, we were at Stadium Swim.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just saw, I see her kind of walking around. I'm like, I recognize the girl. I'm like, that's Annie Agar. Zane, we're getting a picture. Let's go. And I was just very fucked up. Maybe I wasn't.
The next day, we came back the next day. She was there again, and I'm like, I have to do it this time. So I just probably drank 4 more beers, and I walked.
And I'm like, I'm not going up there again. That'd just be weird. But you can, like, that. It makes sense for you to go up there.
Second time's a
charm.
There you go.
I don't know how we got to Annie Agar.
No, it happens.
Went from the business.
Boys, I need a bonk right now.
Let's get down to business.
Bonk. All right. This is actually interesting considering you're a linebacker. But how many 4th graders could you take on in self-defense?
Are they like the average 4th grader?
Yeah, just like a class, maybe. Any old class?
So there's a guy on our team, Dragan Kesic, the kicker, and he is obsessed with hypothetical questions. Like it's just what he asks all day. So this one's been presented before.
Okay.
Oh man, it's tough. Because I feel like if I kick like one of them in the face, like they're like
they should be done after
that,
right?
Yeah, you're done.
They're not coming back for more. And, like the other ones will be scared too. So I'm saying like 25 plus.
25. That's okay. Wow, I believe you. Though.
It would have to be a zombie horde of 4th graders coming at you.
What do you guys think? Like
we had Ben Lieber on, who is a linebacker for the Vikings, and at the time he had a kid in 4th grade, and he really thought about it, and he gave us the answer of 9.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I'm more than.
But he was out of he was out of season though.
Yeah.
You're still active.
Yeah.
So. It's just tough because like. Is it me as a 4th grader? Or is it like the average 4th grader? Like
it's definitely like the average one. Because I bet you as a 4th grader are probably like my size right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who would you say is the funniest person on the team?
I can see it being you too. I know you couldn't say yourself, but
I can't say myself. I got to go Dragan Kesic, and I don't know if. Because there's meals with Mariano, and then there's camps with Kesic. So they did like a camp segment with him. But this guy, he's a kicker, so like he has sometimes less responsibilities around the building. Like, it'd be like after practice, and like guys are going up to watch film, and he's just fucking around. He's hilarious. Like he's always just cracking jokes, and some of the shit that he says is just like absurd. And back to the hypothetical things. Some of the shit he asks is like you just should not ask. Like you shouldn't even have to answer that question.
We'd never be presented to this in real life, so let's not ask this.
Is he the Aussie or no?
No, Aussie's the punter.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yep.
Dragan is the guy that like has like he'll be like shaving a mohawk and have like polka dots in his he's hilarious.
He's just the character. Well, speaking of hypotheticals, you probably shouldn't ask. We got one for you. Would you rather slap a random baby or your own grandma?
Oh my god!
At least they didn't give you the girlfriend mom one.
Yeah,
that's the worst of all of them. There's no right answer to that one.
Slap a random baby or my grandma. I'd probably go random baby.
Yeah, they're not gonna remember that shit.
And
you're good.
I feel like they have like they're young, so like they can heal.
They're resilient.
They're resilient.
Yes.
Old people like they might not come back from that
Well,
slap.
the thing is about my grandma, she would slap the shit out of me. And yeah, she would beat the shit out of me.
Don't want to deal with the retaliation.
No.
Baby's not going to do anything. My grandma will beat the crap out of me.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
All right, this one's tough. Like, because there's like flatbreads and this, that, and the other. I say yes.
Okay.
I say yes. I say there's room in the food world, in the pizza world, for pineapple. It's not traditional. I wouldn't say it's like a traditional Italian pizza, but I'm all for any sort of conglomeration of food as long as it tastes good. And I think there's aspects of pineapple on a pizza that taste good.
It's a condiment.
And
I don't think that.
I don't know.
It'd be a topping.
Stir this up again.
Yeah, no, it's a topping.
It's a topping.
That's a separate thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like I know the answer to this one, but I'll ask it anyways. If you were mic'd up, would they have to bleep it?
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
I've always wished, like I've been mic'd up a few times, I think for practice back in the day, or like we did an Easter egg hunt and around the building, and I got mic'd up for that. But I wish like they mic'd me up for like a game or a practice without me knowing it, and I'd want to like go back and hear some of the stuff.
Oh shit! I was mic'd up.
Yeah, it'd be freaking hilarious. Yeah.
Do you talk shit a lot or not really?
I'm usually too tired to talk shit.
Okay.
Like it has to be like a huge third down stop where I'm gonna talk shit, because like guys like get up and celebrate after like a first down stop, second down stop. I'm fucking gassed all the time. So I'm like, I am not exerting any extra freaking energy than what I have to. And
that's probably good though. You're using all of it rather than saving it to shit talk.
Yes, I agree.
Another random question not related to the rapid fire. When corners celebrate like passes falling to the ground when they had nothing to do with it, are you for that or are you against that?
I'm all for it.
You are.
For some reason, like I'm one of the first people to stick my arms up.
Nope.
Oh,
sorry.
Let's go. I think it's just it's just a habit.
You
It's
see
just
the ball hit
reaction.
the ground.
Yeah. You see the ball hit the ground. You're gonna.
It's good vibes.
It doesn't
Defensive
matter-
play.
It doesn't matter how that ball hit the ground, whether it was dropped a wide open touchdown pass or you made a great play. The arms are coming.
Yep.
Up.
There we go.
have
You're an all for one kind of teammate. It's all the team stopped that ball, not you.
Exactly.
Yep.
I don't know.
that.
Did you guys see there was a play? I saw it all over Twitter. The ball was caught. It was college football, like big time college football. I can't remember who. The ball was caught, and the guy thought it was incomplete. Went for the incomplete, and the receiver just like gained an extra 10.
That happened literally last weekend,
yes,
right?
It was
Morons.
Yes.
That's just like goes against everything football related that you've been taught your whole life.
But that goes back to like that's why I don't celebrate. Like I'm like just so
finish
locked
the play.
In. Yes, like I'm that like meathead, like where the play is done and like I'll just come running in for like no reason.
All right, over. All right, let's get back at it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like Chase Claypool against the Vikings last year when he catches it with like 8 seconds left and does like a 3-second celebration,
and then he
ruins
runs back.
the game.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Or when guys drop the ball before they get to the end zone because they're already celebrating.
Yeah.
I was always blowing my mind.
Stupidity.
It is like just lock in and play the football game. Like that. Like don't get caught up in all the extra curriculars. Just play the game and then you'll be all right.
Yeah, you can celebrate after.
Literally.
What's your favorite golf course in Minnesota?
Oh man. I'm not going to say Valleywood because traumatic
hit the driving range.
Yeah. Honestly, I golfed the Mystic course one time.
That is a nice course.
Meadows.
Yes. Yeah. And I did it at a Gopher student athlete event, and they had to pick like a few guys on each team. The course was beautiful. It wasn't overly hard either. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying while I'm playing. And so we did it was a 4-person scramble, 4-man scramble teams, and there was like 20 teams. And we were like the first team to finish, and we're coming in, and they're like, "Oh, what was your score?" And we finished like 4 under. There's like 4 people on a team.
Yeah.
Or 5 people on a team.
Yeah.
And it was like no more, like par max. And we're like, we finished like 4 under. We got like 4 birdies on the day, which it would have been worse if it wasn't par max. There was a few holes we would have bogeyed. And we're like, all right, this isn't bad. And we're like, all right, we're in first place. And as each team came in, we're like, all right, we're in second place now. And it got to the point we finished dead. We were 4 under. There was teams, like, it's a 5-man scramble. Like, how can you not freaking birdie the hole? And there's teams finishing like 15 under, 16 under, and yeah, it was funny because we came in, we're like, oh yeah, we're sitting good, we're in first place, and ended up coming in last place. So
hey, if it makes you feel any better, we host a charity tournament with the Zuckers every year, and the first inaugural year of the 10K Invitational, we took last.
Okay.
In our own tournament. So,
well, I feel like if you're running the tournament, you can like. It's okay to come.
Yeah,
last.
we did it on purpose.
Right.
Yes.
We wanted everyone else to
Yes.
have fun.
Yes,
Exactly. It'd look weird if we were even in the top half.
Yeah.
So
You, it's your tournament. You win the prize money. It'd be
exactly.
suspicious.
Yeah, it'd be collusion. So
It'd be like, oh, in first place, us, and just stick it in your pocket in front of like 100
us.
people.
We win.
Hundreds of people that paid to play in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it would look good.
What's your least favorite fast food place?
Probably gonna say Burger King.
Yep.
That's a popular answer.
Common answer.
I'm gonna sit here and think for another 20 seconds to confirm my answer.
Bad tendies.
What about Arby's?
Bad
You like
nuggies.
Arby's? Arby's is another one that's pretty popular around
Yeah,
here.
Arby's is up there, but like I feel like their curly fries are
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And
I like their shakes a lot
yeah,
there, too.
you can
Yeah.
just
Beef
get
and
some-
cheddars
Yeah,
are good.
I was gonna say
I
you
don't
can get
know.
like just some basic fine stuff. Like it's not a place where I'd be like mad if we went to, but it's not a place I'm gonna pick. But like if it's
Yeah.
Burger King, I'm like hell no.
No.
I just feel like it's just so gross.
You know Tommy Olson, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's his fucking go-to
Yeah. Is
place.
it?
Yeah, he
had
swears
meat-
by it.
Yeah. When he played, he did
You're
like
gonna have to have a talk with him.
challenge.
That's
Yeah,
apparently.
he's
Once in a
a
while.
new level
Yeah.
of nuts though, like in terms of football guy.
Yeah.
He's a
The
lineman. I mean, what are you
was gonna say,
expecting?
The lineman can get away with that type of stuff. I'd say my favorite fast food. I like McDonald's. You
There
know,
we go.
So they're competitive.
Classic.
They're
You know what they're gonna
competitors, so-
have.
Classic.
Yes.
They're classic. If a movie was made about your life, who would play you?
Oh man, this is tough.
You can pick anyone.
I
Doesn't have to
know,
look like you.
I know. I'm trying to think.
I'm
No,
trying
I
to
could.
think.
What about like I know you're not. He's not as big as you, but like Miles Teller, I feel like could be a decent
Oh, I
one.
could see that.
Yeah.
Like who's crazy? Like who's?
I was thinking like Adam Sandler,
Danny
Waterboy.
Danny McBride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Adam Sandler, Waterboy.
Yeah.
He played that.
It'd have to be
I
the
get-
'90s Adam
Yeah.
Sandler.
But like not as stupid,
Yeah.
stupid, but
Yeah.
like a smarter Waterboy.
I like Will
character.
Ferrell too.
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
You
yeah.
should,
as a
Will
football player.
You should do that in the Pinstripe Bowl when you're running at the quarterback.
H2O.
Yeah. In the linebacker room in general, a lot of people call me Bobby Boucher. Just
Okay.
like the way I run sometimes,
Yeah.
it's not pretty, but like
You
know,
get the job done.
Get the job done.
yes.
It's
Yeah.
not always the prettiest, but like I'm telling you, I'll run to the ball as hard as I can every single time. That's if you can guarantee one thing and know that I'm consistent on one thing, it's I'll run to the freaking ball as hard as I can. And I've made some plays off it. It was actually Northwestern last year. There was a guy like barely like about to go down and guys were letting up and I just smoked this guy forced fumble. So everybody they'll be watching film and I'll just be running like for no reason as hard as I am.
Okay, so December 29th, you're gonna have to convince the social team to mic you up, and then you have to give a Happy Gilmore when you're going at the quarterback.
And I vouch that you throw in some. We're going to the Bourbon Bowl. We're gonna win the Bourbon Bowl.
Wait.
Gatorade. It's PJ's head. Gatorade.
Yeah, right.
H2O.
That'd be great.
Be fantastic.
Great antics.
Speaking of like sound effects, the final one we have on here is just give us your strike three call.
Oh man. So this one actually, have you guys ever been, Cooperstown, like
Yeah.
tournament? There was a guy, the Amish umpire.
Amish
Umpire.
And like the pins that you like give out and stuff and share with teams.
Yeah.
This guy had like a little Amish wagon with the horse and the wheels were spinning on and everybody wanted to get that one. And he had the old school like pad. Like how like not like the old school pad that the umps had where they're like
it's like a blocker.
shield. It's a shield. He had that. And every time he'd be like, yeah. And to this day, like I think that's the best. Like
Yeah.
yeah, literally saying absolutely nothing.
You think
And,
he's
like,
just like
Speaking in
throwing up?
tongues.
oh, he was a
basically.
terrible ump too.
Yeah.
Like I think he had been like he was a legend. Like everybody knew him. He'd been there forever, and he just didn't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
if he wanted a game to be over, he'd call that fucking guy out just to get the hell out.
Get
of
home.
Yeah.
It probably sucked too when they updated the rules of the league on the website because he doesn't have technology.
Yeah,
So,
He wants to get back and churn butter.
You got to give me a book.
No.
I don't even think he was Amish, but he just did whatever
the
the hell he
vibes.
wanted. I remember like parents just screaming at this guy, and like slow as can be, there'd be a play at second, he's still behind home plate, like because at the youth level, like the ump's got to run out, like to the pitcher's mound to like.
Oh yeah, because they don't have like another guy back there.
He's one of those guys.
Do you know how crazy you'd have to be to not be Amish but give off Amish vibes? You'd have to be a crazy fucking guy.
I mean, you're in Cooperstown, Pennselsylvania, so the chances of him being Amish are actually very high. If his name is Ezekiel, he's probably Amish.
Ezekiel
or Isaac or something.
Just hops in his buggy. Just beats the shit out of some screaming dad in the parking lot, then hops in the buggy.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Not getting away very fast, but.
Oh man, this has been such a blast having you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll definitely be cheering you on. Just think that we might be making more Gopher Aid before the.
Yeah, make some Gopher Aid and play the business. Like those combos.
Okay.
Combo
We gotta play.
is unbeatable.
Gotta play more business, man.
That's what I'm
business.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
That was always our bid: is you could go into any business in Las Vegas and the business will be playing.
Oh, literally.
Yeah.
Like the breakfast shop, or like the coffee shop will be playing the freaking business. Yeah.
Let's get down. Let's get
You're
down.
like, it's 8 a.m. Can we turn that shit down for like 10 seconds?
The thing is, like, whether you're out in a place like Vegas or, I went to Cabo for spring break, like, and it's just EDM
the whole time.
the whole time, you're not sure if it's playing or not. Because it's like day 3 and it's like, am I the only one?
Yeah. You hear it when you get back home.
Yeah, like, I hear it. It's like, I don't think there's I hear it too, and it's like, you don't know, because everybody hears it, but it's a mystery.
Your heartbeat is basically
true.
just based by that
Literally,
point,
yeah.
and your blood is just alcohol.
Yeah, so if you just go play the business enough, you'll just hear it in your sleep.
Yeah, it's a good song though.
Oh, I agree.
That's a good song on the island.
Doesn't get
party
old.
vibes.
Doesn't get old.
Yeah. Well, thanks a ton, man. Seriously, it's been a blast.
We got to get you on in the future, man. You're a beauty. So thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah,
got to do the golf simulator one of these days.
We'll get back.
Have to.
We'll play the simulator.
Get there. We'll get there.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Well, good.
We'll be right back with fan questions right after this.
Here's a quick breakdown of Alexander Madison's beautiful touchdown celebration. It all starts with this beautiful 19-yard touchdown run where you'd think the other team is assuming he's sick because they won't even touch him. And he starts casually strolling through the end zone, and then as a Minnesota sports fan, catastrophe strikes. He grabs his right leg in pain, and you think only a Minnesota player would get injured from a touchdown celebration. This pain is so visibly agonizing that Madison collapses to the ground, and the entire fan base starts collectively holding their breath and their mouth full of chicken fingers. And at that moment, you see him getting on all fours, thinking that he might be able to muster up the strength and the courage to walk it off on his own and take his inevitable L from the internet. But then in heroic fashion, Madison starts simultaneously shaking his ass and his shoulders in what can only be described as perfect synchronization. Let's take a closer look. I'd like to state this is a perfectly legal touchdown celebration. When the guys in New York had to analyze and confirm the touchdown, they also probably looked at the celebration to ensure that Madison only delivered 3 pumps max to the field. And it's pretty easy for us to count at home. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and then he springs up. Now, if he did a 4th pump, the flags would have flown and Greg Joseph would have found himself having to kick a 48-yard extra point. 1, 2, 3 pumps, that's legal. If you go 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a flag. Because Alexander Madison has such a high football IQ, he knows that he cannot go more than 3 pumps max, which is why he springs up. And why we can honestly call this celebration a massive success. All right, welcome back to It's a Bit, everyone. Always fun with Mariano. You know, we did the video with him and Tanner on the golf course, and it was an absolute blast. So really glad we got to get him in the studio prior to the Pinstripe Bowl, where he will follow up the Cortaca Jug that was played there back when we were in Buffalo. We already told the story behind that. But all right, final segment. This is one we want to start doing more often. It's the listener Q&A. So earlier on our socials, 10K Takes, we posted on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter asking you to ask us questions for the show, and we're going to answer the best ones. So let's start with Twitter. Let's go around the room. Zender Dillon said, what's the worst thing you would do for a Vikings Super Bowl win? I guess I'll start by answering this. The Vikings are my second favorite team. That's not a surprise to anyone listening. I'm a Colts fan first, Vikings fan second. So I'll probably chop off the second worst part of my body, which I feel like would probably be a toe or a finger.
Here you go.
Not my cock, because that
would be the first?
Yeah, like if you're talking like Colts Super Bowl, it's a cock. If second, it's probably a finger or a toe.
It's a cock. Wow,
yeah,
dude.
it's my cock.
That's bold. Oh.
Yeah. I guess, Jake, what's yours? What would you do? Sorry, you don't have to chop something off. That was
Right.
what I would do.
So I think this goes back to, like, remember when Philly won their Super Bowl and then someone ate horse shit? I think the ultimate question is, would you eat horse shit for a Viking Super Bowl? No, so I'm talking like tomorrow. A fairy comes up to you, a magical fairy, and they're like, if you eat this horse shit, the Vikings will win the Super Bowl.
First off, I wouldn't trust that. I think
It's a real fairy. It's legit, bro.
We're in a hypothetical. It's a real fairy. We determine the rules.
I'd eat
I would still say no.
If I was guaranteed to win a Super Bowl for the Vikings, or even the Stanley Cup for the Wild, if I have to take a bite of horse shit at this point, it's been so long. I've never experienced this. I'll take a bite of horse shit. I don't care.
So Zane's is horse shit.
So yours is horse shit.
Mine's horse shit. I'll eat horse shit. Shout out to the Eagles.
I already said I'd chop off my cock.
I think I would.
Yeah, yes, that's even more extreme.
Oh, jeez. I think maybe a jackass bit. Maybe drink horse semen.
That's worse.
I don't know. That's kind of fucked up.
You're going to become a superstar athlete after.
But yeah.
All right.
I mean,
okay, Alma's left.
If you know a fairy and a horse breeder, let us know.
I would spend 2 weeks in a maximum security prison.
Only 2 weeks? That's nothing.
What?
Jake, do you know how bad 1 day in jail is?
I know, but I would spend. Then I'd spend a month to get a Stanley Cup, and I'd spend 2 months to get a Stanley Cup and a Super Bowl.
Would you drop the soap?
But, no, I'd be confined. I'd be in solitary confinement.
I can't fight my way out of a wet paper bag. I would die in a maximum security prison.
You don't have to fight. You just got to give up your love.
True.
Oh, fuck. You do.
All right, Jake, read the next question.
Yeah, this is coming from at Minnesota MN Sports Cards fan from Twitter. Who is your favorite guest you've had on so far? Well, he wrote fave, and that's a cool way to say favorite.
Oh, okay.
God, he's cool.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy.
Cool guy.
Shout out MN Sports Cards fan.
MN Sports Card. Does that mean he's a Minnesota Sports Cardinals fan?
Jake, answer the question.
Who's your favorite guest you've had on so far? It's got to be Kirk Cousins. Kirk himself. God bless. He's a great guy.
So I would say, I'd say like the most surreal moment was when we were all sitting here in this room, and all of a sudden we get a notification up on that big TV screen there at Kirk Cousins has joined your Zoom meeting. That was absolutely unreal.
That was weird.
I'm gonna say in terms of like the most surreal / weird interview I've ever done on It's a Bit. It was one of the first episodes we ever did was with Jimmy Darts.
Oh yeah, he tried to cure your Crohn's disease.
He tried to cure my Crohn's disease, but he also was like in the middle. He would just say, "Hey." And I just turned to God and I said, "Hey, God, will you fix this?" And I was healed. And he was talking about like severe broken bones and shit like that. He was just talking about stuff that wouldn't get healed by just looking to the sky and saying, "Fix this right now." And it was a super nice guy. He prayed for us. He was very, very nice. And again, I would love to even have him on the show again. But that was like the most like out there interview I think we've ever done.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Billy G. Out of all my sports teams, the Wild are obviously my favorite. And he's a legend as a player, as an executive, and as a dear friend of the program.
100%.
He's been to our house. We've been to his house. We've tailgated with him. We did the joint game with the Wild. Overall, just supports us and loves us. And, we like what he's done with the Wild. We like the moves he's made and the attitude he's taken towards it. And the fact that, he was just – any GM does not have to just come on a podcast from some dudes who live in a house. Like, he just drove here not knowing anyone or he knew about us, obviously, but yeah, just the fact that he did that and still does stuff for us that he does not have to do, easily my favorite guest. Kirk was awesome, and there's been plenty of other ones too, but Billy G sticks out for me.
Dude, Billy G has done so much stuff for us where it's like it's even hard for us to keep our objectivity about him at this point. Like he could fucking, and I know he has no authority to do this. He could move the team, and I still feel like everyone here would be like,
we owe it to him.
Billy G's cool.
We owe him that support for everything he's done for us. He could trade Kirill for
for nothing, for peanuts, right?
Yeah. And we'd be like, there's a plan. We know.
Yes, 100%.
Trust the process.
I would say it's either Kirk or Billy G. They're the two top for me. Recency bias, though, Mariano is one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
That was climbed the ranks pretty fast.
It was such a cool
he's a cool
got
guy.
to see it from his shoes, and I also laughed my ass off the whole time.
Yes.
So, he was definitely awesome.
He's a beauty.
I feel like most people would probably, and I don't know the whole team obviously, but I feel like if you ask most people like who's the funniest person on the team, they'd probably say him. him.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
probably.
You know, like there's stereotypes about athletes being, you know, very serious and straightforward, but Mariano's one who's just a personality. He's just a character, which, you know, we knew he'd be great for the program.
Well, and even before we were even on the podcast today, he was literally he had all of us in stitches before we even started. So he's the beauty of a person.
He loves the bit.
All right, Zane, next question.
Okay, at Snyder16Nate asked, if you were a WWE wrestler, what would your name be and what would your finishing move be? So this is kind of, for me, a difficult question. I have not been a fan of the WWE since I was like 10 years old. I think if I were to have a finishing move, it would have to be a titty twister. I love titties. So I think that's what I'm going with, boys.
What's your name?
It's going to be Wags, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. We could do something like Warrior Wags. You know how they have a character, though? I would do like a W and then Wags. So something along those lines.
WW Wags.
Yeah, that's actually WWE. Vince
Trademark
McMahon, Triple H, whoever's in charge right now. That's what we're doing. But then the Atomic Twitty Twister would be my finisher.
Atomic Titty Twister.
So that's it right there, boys.
That sounds painful.
It does.
My wrestling name would probably be like something stupid like Killer Cam or something like that.
Killer Cam.
What about the
and
mullet?
Cam would be spelled with a K.
The Mullet Man. Where
Or
it's like the Muffin Man, but it's the Mullet Man. Jake,
There we go.
sing the song with the Mullet Man instead.
Oh, do you know the Mullet Man, the Mullet Man, the Mullet Man? That's your bit.
You just add some sounds there, like a lighter, and then rat. It's just like Spike TV.
My what is it? The finishing move. It wouldn't be original. It would be a tribute to my favorite wrestler of all time. It'd be the Swanton Bomb by Jeff Hardy. I fucking love Jeff Hardy, so I would just do that. I was a big WWE
Dude, who
nerd.
was it? Was it Bubba who went to like a minor league wrestling event or something in St. Paul, and someone's finishing move was eat his ass?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Does not surprise me at all. And I'm sure that was Bubba's. That would be Bubba's finishing move.
Out of all the finishing moves that ever existed in WWE, there was this guy named Mick Foley, and what he would do, he'd put a sock on his hand, and then he would shove it down his opponent's throat.
Yeah.
And that was literally his finishing move. He'd do it on TV to every person he fought.
Or Carlito with the apple.
Yeah,
Remember
he'd
that?
spit the apple on the face and then like kick the shit out of him.
It's pretty hard to beat the RKO. I think that's by far the most popular finishing move.
Watch out. 619 is
that
Rey
Cena?
Mysterio?
Oh, Mysterio, yeah.
Cena's the FU.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't see me.
You can't see. He does it right
My
before.
time is now.
Drops the elbow.
Now he's doing like Honda commercials.
I think people might hate us, but I think we might be more AEW guys.
We are. Well, we went to. We've been collectively as a group. We've been to more AEW pay-per-view events than WWE pay-per-view events. We went to what was it? Full Gear at the Target Center with our friend Donna Corby.
No, our Irish friend.
Jake, yeah.
I'm kind of, I don't know, it'd either be Jake the Snake, which is an actual wrestler,
Yeah.
or probably just JJ the Great.
I would love if you did a Kirk Cousins character and you had
Kirk
like some wholesome some wholesome finisher that you did, like you read the Bible to death to your opponents or some shit.
Yep, and just yell, "Do you like that?"
About to lay down a gospel.
Throw some holy water on it.
God bless.
Yeah, right.
Some sage.
That'd be my final, and they would just burn to death. Or I mean, just more original, JJ the Great, and my finishing move would be Ultimate Punch, but it would actually work. The one from Hot Rod.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ultimate Punch.
Andy Samberg.
You put your foot up and you kick and punch at the same time.
Yep.
If it
Great
works,
movie.
it could be effective.
You could ride in on one of those little scooters that he rides in the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mine is just gonna be Boss Man, obviously, but I'm not gonna be a wrestler. I'm gonna be. I'm a pussy, so I'm gonna be one of those like business agent.
You'll be the Vince McMahon.
I'll be like a Vince.
Yeah.
Like I'll walk next to the big guy and like. The wrestler will like point at me and be like, "You're fucking next," and then I run away like a little bitch. My finishing move is telling the wrestler to do his finishing move.
There we go. Okay.
You're the coach.
So,
Finish.
I think at the WWE they would call that the authority.
Yeah. So it's always like an agent or
Yep.
it's always like a snobby businessman who is in
So,
charge of that guy.
Once Vince retired, I think Triple H took it over.
Yeah.
Now he's that guy, right?
Yeah. Or even former President Donald Trump did. I remember when he got elected, it's like, this is our president. now. And it was a video of him like grabbing McMahon's hair and like beating on him.
Yeah,
like,
and grabbing the chair and shit.
yeah. One of those characters is what I'm doing.
I have the last one from Twitter. It's from Lush Luck Lusk.
Great name.
This might not require all of us to answer, but why hasn't Jocks been on the pod yet?
Guessing. Okay, so first off, he didn't include a last name.
Yeah, I
I'm
know,
guessing he's
so I don't
saying
know.
Jacques Lemaire.
I don't know who he's referring to.
Yeah, so
I'm
it has. There's
hesitant.
only been one Jocks in Minnesota sporting history.
right.
It's been the OG coach of the Minnesota Wild, Jacques Lemaire. And the reason he hasn't been on is because does he even know what podcasts are?
Probably not. He just knows what forecheck, backcheck, skate is.
True, that's probably true. But we could hit up our very good friend Bill Guerin, and he probably could get us a contact
Jacques,
because he was coached by him in New Jersey for a while. Here's the thing: if there was an actual opportunity for us to get Jacques on the pod, none of us would be opposed to it. It just hasn't come together yet.
Just to clarify it, those that we haven't gotten on, it's not because we don't want them on. It's because it's a little hard to find these people and reach out to them. As it's no surprise. So my answer to that is if you have his contact info, let us know and we can have him on.
That's true.
You need to utilize the people.
People don't understand that we started this fucking shit with no connections, and we've had to work very, very hard to get these connections, and it doesn't happen overnight.
None of us were popular in high school. Nope. We didn't grow up with rich daddies, or we didn't grow up with friends that knew people. I mean, we literally started this from zero. Yep. So I think one day we'll have the power of the network. I'm not talking the network of content, but the network of like our own connections where we could make anyone happen. Yeah. At least around the area.
Yep.
We'll have the power of the Sith.
You've been on your Star Wars shit today,
There's a couple references.
His Sith coat, you said to Mariano.
It looks like a fucking wizard coat. Sith
but the Sith wear like robes. They wear like black robes. This is like a full blown football worm coat.
Well,
but it just goes down long, almost down to
it goes down long. But for me, what takes it away from the Sith is it has a big M on it for Gophers. So to me, I see that logo and I see the maroon. I don't think like, oh, those are the bad guys.
I could say it's a Jedi cloak too because they also wear ones as well. They also wear ones as well. Let's talk about this a little further. No, I'm just joking.
JJ, do the first Instagram question, please.
The first Instagram question comes from our buddies at Golden Light. This is the official account, mind you. They ask, what's the greatest light beer of all time?
And we're a big fan of Red Dog light beer here.
Yeah.
Busch Light.
I said I responded to them. I'm like, this is
Cam's staring at me.
This is a rhetorical question. Cam's answer is Busch Light.
Yeah, I can't lie, it's Busch.
Yeah, but I think the other three up here, as we have the cans right here. Maybe Jake threw his away, or maybe they're over there. But we've been drinking Golden Light this whole podcast. Allegedly, maybe not. Mariano might have had a Golden Light, so maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I think for the most part we're a Golden Light show. However, Cam from day one has respected his Busch Light, and
we don't hate Busch.
No, we don't either.
No.
Jack and I come from a school where they sell the most Busch Light 40 racks in the country.
Happy Harry's and Grand Forks.
Is Grainbelt Premium a light beer?
No.
It doesn't say
that.
that.
It has to have light in the name for it to be a light beer.
Yeah, see, it doesn't have light, but I love Grainbelt Premium. But McGolden Light, it's a classic. It's a go-to. It's very good.
Yep. So we got 3 votes for McGolden Light, 1 for Busch Light. Hey, that goes to prove that we're an honest show.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're diversified.
Correct.
We're cool.
All right, the next question comes from Abe.Right07 on Instagram, and he said, would you rather have a Vikings Super Bowl or a Wild Stanley Cup? I'm going to start by answering this, and it's going to make a lot of sense to people because the Vikings are my second favorite team. Wild are like my number one team. I'm going to say a Wild Stanley Cup. I think both would be electric, don't get me wrong, but I just think the Wild and St. Paul in itself are a lot more niche. And first off, it'd probably be a lot easier for us to get access to the victory parade.
Yes,
through our connections, and then Bill also invited us on the pod to his house when we win the cup.
Yep.
So we'd get our own time with the trophy, which would be pretty cool.
Fuck, dude, we would talk to Bill about getting us our own rings. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a biased answer on multiple points. I would say strip away everything that 10K is. I would say a Vikings Super Bowl would be a way bigger deal, and I understand that the global implications of the Vikings winning a Super Bowl would be a lot more because they're just a popular team. But for me personally, it's the Wild.
Choose who you want to go next.
Let's go, Jake.
Right.
I've been saying this for a while. I would rather have a Wild Stanley Cup first over a Vikings Super Bowl just because both teams have never won a championship. So if the Vikings had won a Super Bowl or vice versa, I would say the next one in line. But I think the Stanley Cup playoffs,
that's why none of us are going to say Twins, right? Because they've already had one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the NHL playoffs is probably, if not the toughest professional sport playoffs out there. I think it's so tough to win a 7-game series and do it threefold just to get to the cup and win it. It's so competitive. It's so fun just watching it. That whole experience, just watching it, a team that you're not even a fan of. If the Wild were actually in that, I'd take that over a Super Bowl right now.
It's a month-long process.
Yeah.
It's not, NFL playoffs are,
I think
I guess they're almost a month, but there's so much time off.
We're the state of hockey.
We are the state of hockey. And, and I grew up, Jake, as you know, a hockey player who loved the sport very much. If you would have asked me this question 10 years ago, it would have been a no question. It would be, I 100% want a Minnesota Wild Stanley Cup before a Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl. Now I'm a little bit older. I'm not as committed to the sport of hockey. I'm not playing it. And the only reason I'm going to choose the Vikings, one, because the Wild started in the year 2000. Now, don't get me wrong. I know the North Stars are around. But I feel like the Minnesota Wild don't have, like, people are not going to be like, oh, they'll never win a Stanley Cup ever. They're not at that stage of their franchise yet. The Minnesota Vikings have been around for so long. They're the fifth. They have the fifth most wins in NFL history, yet no Super Bowl. This has been going on for 60 years, right? This is ridiculous, and it needs to end. I would much rather have a Viking Super Bowl, also because the NFL does their sport right. And what I mean by that is they have 17 games the whole year. That's it. I have not missed a Vikings game, I want to say, in 3 years. I've watched every single game just because how few games there are. And because of that, I feel like I'm way more committed to that team because I watch every single game than I am to the Minnesota Wild, where I watch 95% of their games. But there's still going to be maybe 5 to 10 games every year where I don't watch. And, I really don't care that I didn't watch. I'll get the box score later that night. Right? So just because of that, I'm going to choose the Minnesota Vikings. And let's be honest, like, I feel like the state would go a lot crazy. Not that they wouldn't go crazy if the Wild won a Stanley Cup, but I feel like the whole entire state would be off their ass if the Minnesota Vikings won a Super Bowl.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of both, especially because I'm a #hockey guy now. But I would definitely say the Vikings. They're my number one team in any sport. So I've wanted it since I've been born, obviously. I would bawl like a baby if they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Cam and I would also be just as happy if the Minnesota Wild won a Stanley Cup.
I'd ball if any team won a championship.
This is a question where it's like, oh, would you rather have a Lamborghini or a Ferrari?
Exactly.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Can't we just have both?
right? Yeah. God forbid. No, we can't.
Nope.
The day that Minnesota becomes title town,
That sucks.
is a day when we can maybe do this full time. Let's be honest.
Okay, next up from Instagram, Z.K_9.7 asks, how much do you spend on alcohol a year? And I want to say Z.K_9.7 that we would probably spend a lot less than you think on alcohol. I would say Monday through Friday, we are all pretty responsible young men. I think Friday night, we might get a little loose. When it comes to any sporting event, we're going to be getting loose. But honestly, it's not like it's a Tuesday. Like right now, it's a Tuesday night. We're having drinks, but we're not getting fucked. We're being responsible. We're having fun. We don't spend that much.
Yeah.
There is one exception. That is when we had our 2-year party. We did spend $1,000 on 100 shots of grape apes.
Yes.
Another 300 on beers for the pint chugging.
Yep, and 300 on beers, and we were in debt for like about 5 to 6 months based off that. So that 1 year, which was I guess last year, we spent a lot of money. But I want to say we normally don't spend that much money.
Yeah, we unfortunately discovered that year that we're not the 2007 Boston Bruins.
We're not.
No.
We can't just drop fun amonts of money. And,
We didn't win a championship. We're not a sporting
recover
team.
from it.
If you had to throw a number at it, though, what would you say? You personally?
Me personally, 500.
Okay. I would say like. You think about like all the times that I go out to the bar too.
Yeah,
right?
that, I'm
And you
considering,
drink
I'm considering the bar
I think
tab, yeah.
sporting events and
sporting
airports.
events.
I'm probably over $1,000.
I think
I'm
I'm
around
at,
there.
I think I'm at like $2,000.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm probably about $1,000, probably.
I would say about 2.
Yeah.
My answer to this was I don't want to know where I'd have to check into AA. But
Yeah.
No, I mean, all jokes aside, Zane's right. Like, we're not alcoholics. Like, we work actually really hard.
We don't go to meetings.
Yeah.
That's why.
Correct.
What you see us doing in the videos is maybe 5 to 10% of our week.
Yeah.
Like it's mostly spent working and being sober and being very serious. So it's
Like for example, last night was Monday night. As soon as we got done with work, we hopped on a call with us, with all of us for 3 hours and talking about the bullshit of the business. There was not a single drink involved. It was just discussing everything 10K. And when it was done, it was like 8:30, and then we go to bed, man, because we watched some horrible
Cam, you
movies.
drank last night, didn't you?
I was playing Call of Duty and drinking Busch Light last night.
the content.
Cam.
The
You're a
content's-
youngin', you can do that.
The content is the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
Let's just say that. Yes. All right. Someone asked the next question. Cam.
It is from. I'm just gonna.
I don't.
TYABLZ
Tybless, yeah.
on Instagram. If you could golf with one current or former Vikings player, who would it be?
Current and former.
Or current? Oh, so one of each.
Yep.
Former, I'm going Randy Moss, just because he's a character. I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know if he's good at golf.
Let's go.
But he grew up like I grew up. That was my favorite player ever. Current, that's harder. I would say Kirk, but like we've had him on the pod, so like I feel like that might actually present itself at one time. So if I were to do like a hypothetical, I would say like. Fuck, that's hard.
You would say, fuck, that's hard?
That's what she said.
Is it a kicker?
Greg Joseph.
Is he on the practice squad? I haven't heard of him.
Current, I would probably just go Cam Dantzler because he's got a cool name.
Oh, he's a beauty.
Yep.
And he seems like a cool dude to hang out
Cameron.
For current, I'm going to choose Kirk Cousins, and only because when the Minnesota Vikings at the beginning of the year released their golf video, that was some of the most most electric content I've ever seen. It was Kirk Cousins frick on the golf course. That was awesome.
Frick.
In terms of former players, I think having Jared Allen for a round would be a blast, man.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
He literally has a mullet. How the fuck did I not think of that?
We could have Brett Favre on. He could teach us how to commit fraud.
How to steal money?
We need money at this company.
Hell yeah.
So.
But yeah, those are probably my two guys.
So current, I'm going to go Adam Thielen because in that same video, and specifically Adam Thielen in like a 4-man scramble, because in that specific video he shot, I think, 33 on the front nine at
He's
Stone
an
Ridge.
unreal golfer.
So he's a very good golfer. So I'm going to go Thielen as a current golfer, and just seems like a great dude. Former player, I'm going to go John Randall, because if you see his Twitter account, he's always on the golf course on Fridays smoking cigars. I know he has his signature drink with Grey Duck, so we can all safely assume he likes to have a few beverages. And when he's just got that big old smile and the cigar and his drink in his hand at the golf course, it makes me feel happy that it's the weekend, because I'm usually going to be golfing that day too. So John Randall just always brings a positivity to the timeline on Fridays. Jake?
Of course, Kirk Cousins. I'm golfing with Kirk Cousins any day of the week for obvious reasons. Former, this is a little tough. Randy Moss is up there, but maybe we have to go with Devin Aromashadu.
What the fuck?
Let's go with David Dixon too, right?
David Dixon. He's a savage guy.
Fred Smoot.
Fred Smoot.
He actually does the post game for the Skins for the Commanders.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm racist for saying this.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
Canceled.
But
Damn it.
Fooling the company.
Damn it. But like,
Damn it.
I a lot of times after games, especially when the Vikings win, I like to search Vikings versus Commanders reaction, just because it cracks me up to watch the other team's rage. We just lost to the Vikings. They suck, right? So I clicked on the actual Washington Commanders YouTube page, and it was fucking Fred Smoot there.
Yep.
I couldn't
Hell
believe
yeah.
my eyes.
Fred fucking Smoot.
Still going on boats and getting jerked off.
Yep. I think it would be fun to golf with Percy Harvin if he does golf.
No,
he would bring the loud, bro.
Yeah.
He'd have a headache from the night before.
Percy Harvin.
I had too many
up.
drinks. I have a headache. Can't make it.
I have a headache.
All right. Final one. Oh, wait. Yeah, final one. This was from Facebook. Tyler Olson said, which team this year has your pick to be the better chance of getting the furthest in the playoffs / winning titles between Vikings, Wild, and Wolves? I have hope for all of them, but Minnesota luck in sports hasn't always been on our side.
He left the Twins out. Pay attention.
I think hope is gone for the Wolves.
Not quite, but
It's too early.
I'm gonna probably
those three teams.
Well, I think you have to go Vikings. Right now, because now it's very different, because the Vikings play 17 games where the Wild have 82, and the Vikings are further in their season than the Wild, so you can't really speculate based on that. But based on past playoff percentage, winning percentage, the Vikings have gotten further in the playoffs than any other team.
You're right.
Statistically, when they have seasons like this, like in 2017, they made it to the NFC Championship game. So
I would imagine we're all going to go Vikings here. I mean, we're 10-2.
Vikings.
I mean, okay, I guess the
NFL.
Wolves made it to the Western Conference Finals like
2000.
04 or 04.
So technically they're tied on that, but it's
the Vikings have done it more.
They've done it
the
like 3 or
Vikings-
4 or 5 times in the last 40 years.
And the Wolves are starting to feel like the Wild and the Twins, like first round elimination type squads.
You have to go with the Minnesota Vikings only
Yeah.
because at this point they are guaranteed a home playoff game.
And there's like luck too.
Yep.
There's something different with like there's like magic. It's
Yeah.
the
Team of
stupid
destiny.
as that
It's,
Said it on
sounds.
Sunday.
it's the big cock, man. He's changing
It's
this
cat.
program.
Huge cock.
Well, if they finish with the 2 seed, they're guaranteed 2 home games.
Yeah,
if they win the
exactly.
first
Yep.
one, obviously knock on
But
wood.
the worst that they could do at this point would be a single home game. You know what
I
I'm
know.
saying, though? So because they're going to have that one home game, it's like, and they're such a good home team, you can't, they're going to go kind of far in the playoffs.
I know.
I just saw Jake stop a Twitch. He was going to say, you know what I'm saying? I saw him stop himself.
Oh no, I wasn't going to say that. I was
Congrats,
thinking.
he's doing well in treatment.
No, I was thinking. I was thinking about like if we actually get the 1 seed though. Like that'd be crazy.
titties.
Like we didn't know.
Let's. I'm not gonna say that.
No, say you can't do
Oh!
the Bubba, Jack. You know you can't do the Bubba.
I was gonna say the Vikings would be the team to get the 1 seed
Oh,
and,
for
then,
sure.
and then get blown out.
You're right. You're
Yep,
100%
so-
right. I can't. Yeah.
I don't want to say,
They're going to
but
play
knock
the
on that wood
Cowboys in the
again.
but
first
me,
game.
but me saying that is not helping anything. So I left it in.
You know, this is how I'm approaching the rest of the Minnesota Vikings season, and if you're an optimistic fan, you should do the same thing. Just remember, we went into Buffalo and we won.
Yep.
If we can do that, we can win any game in this.
And when
league.
when
can
people
do
are like,
anything.
"Oh, are you on the team?" No, we were at Buffalo. We were at the game. So
I coach
committed.
these kids.
These kids are my
Big cat
future.
bit.
I also
Big
gotta
cat
say
bit.
too, regardless of whatever happens, I just hope the Vikings make the AFC Championship,
NFC.
NFC Championship, so we can see KOC hit the gritty.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
There's never been more on the line.
We all want to hit the grid.
Okay, so
we all want to hit.
Justin Jefferson was talking about the worst gritty of all time, looking at Gesicki, and said it was worse than Kirk's. I think KOC's would be the worst of all of them.
I think KOC's got that it factor. I think his gritty would be
Well, he does, but he's still, I don't know. He kind of gives off the dad vibes. Like,
if there's anyone that has had a lot of mentors in his life to hit the gritty, it's KOC.
Yeah, he's ready. It seems like he's ready.
Well, so what I say, I think his gritty is going to be shit. However, out of all 32 NFL coaches,
he probably have the best.
He probably would have the best.
Oh yeah, Andy Reid is 100% having the worst gritty. In the
Could you imagine if hitting that?
It's Belichick.
He'd tear his ACL.
Oh my god, that'd be
Belichick would also get hurt.
We should literally just do an animated series of NFL head coaches doing the gritty.
I want to see Steve Belichick hit the gritty with like a straight face. That mullet of his.
That's not a mullet.
That's gross.
He got in a fight with a weed whip.
Yeah, holy.
Oh shit! Well, all right, that was a great episode. By the way, we're gonna bring back listener Q&A. I think that's great, and you guys can ask us more than just stuff about. If you want to know more about the business of media or what we do in digital entertainment,
or any question, random.
If you want
questions.
to insult one of us, it'd be fun to read.
Yeah, if you want to know Jake's
well.
deepest, darkest secrets that explain why he is the way he is, you can ask that. He's going to answer.
I saw one on Instagram.
We'll turn this to a therapy session.
Andy was like, I really like the brand, but that JJ kid really sucks. And then there's like,
I was number one.
There was one person who obviously had no fucking clue who Andy was, right? And he just responds to the comment saying, "What are you talking about? JJ's a beauty.
JJ's goated."
Well, I think he's talking about Justin Jefferson.
You're right. Yeah,
he's JJ.
All right, that was another episode of It's a Bit presented by 10,000 Takes, folks. Thanks so much for listening. And you can always follow us on all of our socials, 10K Takes. Go to the website at 10ktakesmn.com. Listen to all the other pods in the network. You'll find it on our website, as well as us on Vikings pregame, 2 hours before each show between the first and second segment, 2 hours before each game. But thank you guys so much, as always, for your support, and we'll see you next week.